White flag 90, first lap of a 23-24, puts you second quick so far. 114 you may roll, 23 to
ladies and gentlemen, welcome here tonight. We are under the lights here at Iowa Speedway. Monday Night Thunder Series here, presented by Motor Sim Racing Magazine. Truck action here, and we're amongst qualifying. Joe White's up here, as always, accompanied by John T. Wimmis. John, how you doing, man?
We're doing great, Joe. Excited about this race here. I really like this track, and I'll see these guys get around here and be pretty racing tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Going to have 26 bad fast guys. It's a bad fast monster trucks. Bad fast little track here under the lights. Iowa can be an awesome track. I enjoy it myself, but it is considered a short track, so you got to be very, very patient and calm. And sometimes it can bring some good racing, sometimes it can bring some very aggravating anger, so to speak.
23-35.
Yeah, it can get that way, man, but more so down at 1 and 2, I think. A lot of guys go in there super fast and overdrive that. You're carrying a lot of speed off in that corner right there, and you drift up there. And especially in these trucks, those things get real tight right there. Drive up into somebody, they get a little irritated with you, but you got to work that stuff out, man. You know, everything doesn't always go the way you want it to. Like today's your birthday, and this is how we're spending it, sitting here calling a race, man. So I'm looking forward to it. And happy birthday! I know you've been busy with other things going on, but everybody out there, it's Joe's birthday. I think he's 30.
Yeah, that's it, 30. Yeah, there you go. The bad thing is my age now is I can't flip to make myself younger. That sounds sucks. Dadgummit. We were talking about that earlier.
Need a time machine.
I know it, man. Where's the back to the future when you need one? You're all right. We're under the lights here. I want to give a shout out to our title sponsor, TN Designs, Racing Designs and Graphics. As always, check those guys out. It's the awesome one, because you hear Andrew Kennelly in the background calling these guys to qualifying here tonight. That's what we're under here, qualifying right now. They do a unique style here, as they do one by one old style qualifying, so to speak. But John's right, yeah, Dave's birthday has been an eventful one to start off with, but always enjoyable. I'm old, I know it, so Either way, it's okay.
Well, you know, it's like I say, any day above ground's a great day. So we're doing fine. Doing all right. To be your birthday. So.
White flag 85.
Absolutely. That's the way I look at it. I tell people I'm always thankful when you be alive. So. Speaking of birthdays, so I will have to give a shout out here to Aiden. I want to thank him. He had a truck out here, and you know how Aiden is. He gets all excited about his paint jobs and trucks and stuff like that. And he's like, "Oh, Joe, you gotta see it. You gotta see it." Yes, okay. Calm down. You know, go sit in the corner. So I looked at it, and he's got the OSR network on the hood and all, and he says on the side of it says "Happy Birthday." So we'll show that in the race for him eventually there. Good kid, definitely knows how to wheel a truck around here. So it ought to be awesome out there. Appreciate him doing that. Appreciate anybody, man, doing that. Always appreciate the viewers out there, man, because it's an awesome race here. Monday Night Thunder presented by Motor Sim Racing Magazine. These guys, hopefully, like I said before, John, excuse me, get my bearings right here. Like I said, Iowa is a short track, and you know we can be in store for a wonderful race. But then again, you know, just like in real life, this place can be a very hectic on drivers.
Checkered flag 11.
Yeah, it is. I mean, we're going to see some great racing there. You know, at the start, everybody's going to be on fresh tires. Track temp 75 degrees, so I mean, grip is pretty unbelievable. You know, but with this truck, what I found in racing here the past week or so is 1 and 2 is not quite as bad as it used to be. You know, 2, the exit there. There's a little bump right there, and as you hit that, it used to get you real squirrely there. Well, now with this new tire model and everything being the way it is, it's not that bad. If you have your steering set right anyway, now you can go through there. In other circumstances, you know, being too low and come off of there sideways. But really the trouble spot here at this track now is coming off of 4 right there, getting the power back down to the ground right there. So you'll see some guys, you know, take off through the grass there and whatnot. But as we said, you know, going up in 1 and 2, that's a real trouble spot as far as pushing goes. See some guys just drive up in there super hard. So it can be a very racy track here, but later on in green flag runs, you'll see some guys go to that top line and start using that, and that'll be pretty much the racing line towards the end of the race.
Well, you know, I did some official racing here in the B car, which is the Xfinity car, and iRacing last week. Did enjoy this track, and you're right, I agree with you on that one. Eventually, you know, the middle high lane is to me is one of the preferred lines. You can use the low line on very good tires. A lot of guys tried to dive because I always back the turns up, is what I call it, basically letting off early going in. But I would kill them, man, coming off. They just couldn't make the pass. And unless they made a pass on me going into the turn and got me by the middle, if they were side by side, it was a done deal me coming off that turn. Because like you just said, you get the run off the turn for the middle out, and it's exceptional here. Just enjoy this track. Tires will be a factor over the course of a long run. If we get a lot of good long green fronts, obviously, short runs, you're going to want to go in here and get tires. So if it runs in that one, we already know some of the guys here, man, that really favors some of the short runners. And some of the long runners, which back today, Eric Test, Iceman from the Netherlands, back out here tonight. And he's not in one of our usual trucks that we're used to seeing him in. He's in a different paint job.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet since they've gone to qualify, and he hasn't put the truck back on the grid, so I haven't been able to check that out yet. But just back out here knocking the rust off, not too bad. 6th fastest in practice with a 23.133. Mike Bruno was fastest, the 23.004. So Eric still got a lot of speed out there, but he's one of those guys you're talking about, enjoys the long run here, and that, you know, is very beneficial here. And you know, if the race can stay green here and these guys stay off each other, just keep out of trouble here. Look for Eric to be up there at the front as always.
Keeps you 11th place.
Absolutely, perfect timing. Put that down on my cookie.
Green flag 81.
I felt like you were probably eating, so.
But also good explanation too, by the way. As we're seeing, old Michael Redding's out here. He is running the. He's in the truck out here for. He's actually running for points for Andrew Kennelly out here. They can actually have 3 sub drivers. or 3 subs in 3 different races for a driver that will count for their points. So that's something cool that, you know, you can't make a race or something comes up or anything like that. It's kind of cool. So Michael Redding's down here. So yes, we're showing 27 cars, trucks, but it's actually 26 because Andrew Kennelly is actually adminning this. That's who you're hearing in the background right now. Normally you would hear, you know, Michael Redding or Bradley Wilson, but speaking of Aiden Young, there you go. We see him right there. Nice little truck, man. He's got up there that 09 machine.
That 09 staging there.
Looks nice.
Yeah, it does look really nice. I had to refresh my paints there earlier to see what you were seeing. But yeah, it's pretty cool, man. Happy birthday, Joe White, all over the thing. So yeah, man. Gotta like that, man.
Yeah, no doubt. And always, you know, appreciate the guys doing that. It's cool. And what's going on, Chris Matthews? Man out there in the chat. What's going on, Tim? He said, hey, out there. Want to appreciate all the viewers as always here. So we're under the lights here at Iowa Speedway. Running qualifying. Right now, Davis Richards, man on point. Michael Redding's there in second. John Barron in third. Robbie Butler fourth. And Terry Mason sitting in fifth. We still got about, I'm going to say about a solid 10 trucks here left to go in qualifying. So we're getting down here. I don't want to take anybody out of the loop, but getting down to some of the fast trucks.
Checkered flag 71, lap 2.
Yeah, definitely are. Bruno was first. Tyler Justice was second with a 23.036. Brad Wilson.
Green
Josh Sturgill with a great time there. So a lot of fast trucks here yet to go as Aiden Young's on the track right now.
Absolutely. Running around there. And he's got the OSR network machine out there running. Like how he did that. That was kind of cool. My knowledge, he actually paints his own trucks and stuff, so he does a pretty good job at it.
First up is a 23-21.
He's doing good. Get a little bit better at both aspects of this stuff, isn't he? The painting and the racing parts.
Yeah, well, I knew his racing part was really good. Yeah, I really knew his racing was awesome, so yeah. Well, appreciate that, Carter, man, as always. I think everybody does a swell job, man, an awesome job. But broadcast, race, drivers, I'm more probably, I'm just really thankful for a lot. And so, got some more good news today. I'm not going to tell anybody about that until we just wait. But some more great things to come for OSR Network, so to speak. Let's put it that way. And it's, you know, the fans and the viewers and the leagues, man, it's all for them, and I love it. You know, it's just great, the success and stuff. We've talked about it a million times. What we haven't talked about, though, John, is you're still doing your website, simracingsponsors.com?
I am, and I've been in talks with people, still talking to people. This is just such an untapped area here. I mean, you know, a lot of these leagues and drivers do have some sponsors and people they work with, but when you're going after big guys, man, they like to see some real results here. So I've got guys watching broadcasts and everything, and it's really cool that they see the growth that OSR Network has experienced, and as well as some of the others. We know our friend Dave and those guys over at Dre, they've got some growth as well. So that's really what these guys want to see, and to really get them involved with it. So having the fans, everybody that comes in here and watches, and if you subscribe, you know, that really helps. If you like the videos and all that, the more people we can get watching, the more subscribers we can get, you know, the more we can really get people into this and show sponsors that there is value in this, and that's what they want to see. So still working, you know, very diligently with that. So we'll see how it goes, man. Like I said, it's just an untapped area for them, and just the unknowns and all that. So the more we can show proof of things, the better off we're going to be. But the growth here since you started has just been amazing, and you know, I have to give you all the credit in the world. You don't really take any credit yourself, but you've done a lot, put a lot of your own money into this stuff. But you know, you always give credit to the leagues and the viewers, and without them, none of this would be possible.
Yeah, absolutely. That's cool. You know, I'm with you. It's really untapped. I mean, a lot of sponsors. There is a lot of sponsors, you know, so to speak, for other leagues. You know, Rick Motec is one of them, a big time one. Obviously, here, you know, we got Motor Sim Racing Magazine. Here was the title sponsor, and you know, like I say, we love the viewers out there. We got our constant ones, as we see our accountant out there, John Marine. That's what we call him. Me and John was up here talking. We're gonna have to call, you know, Tim the what do we got? Mr. Popular Fan, I guess, or something like that.
First lap of a 23,
Always first and always there. So I
quick
give
on the
credit,
board.
man. Man loves racing. I appreciate it, like I say, and
17 to stay.
appreciate everybody coming out. So it's awesome. But talk about Eric Tesh. He's
96,
out there, and
so
it looks
that's
like he's
Surly
got about
giving up
6
his second lap
fastest
as
right
well.
now. But we know him, John. He's going to be one of those that's going to ride and hope for long green flag runs.
Oh, he definitely is, and he'd like to see it. I'm sure he's put in a lot of practice as he always does, so it'd probably be the same Eric that we're used to seeing, you know.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But very glad to see him back finally, you know, getting some time back on here. He took some time for himself to do some things and whatnot, so everybody needs that every once in a while. Take a little break, come back to it, and get back to business here. So it's good to see him back at it.
That's right. He's in that. He's in a car with animated chicks on it tonight that says "Chunky Roll" on it. At least that's how I look. I don't know.
It's Crunchy Roll.
Oh, it is. Oh, my bad. Well, y'all didn't tell me, man.
Oh, well,
see, y'all set me up. Well, I didn't see it.
Checkered flag,
I thought it said
89.
Chunky. My bad. Hold on, man. Let me go back.
Got something on his truck with chicks that says Chunky Roll.
Well, all right. Hey, look. From this angle, from what I'm looking at right here, it looks like Crunchy. That's what I'm saying, or Chunky, or something. It looks like Chunky because I don't have my close-up angle on it. So let's go to our close-up angle here. Boom. There we go. Crunchy Roll. Yeah, but to the other angle, it did look like, because it was wide and far off. Anyways, it's animated chicks on the side of the thing. It was different than what we're used to seeing him in.
Quick on the board.
Yeah.
88 roll, 7 to staging.
Oh, wait. Chunky Roll.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you know, it is. He likes it. I don't know what it means. I guess it's got to be something from over in the Netherlands. Right, there's a man out there that would definitely know what it means. Ryan W. Daniels, because you know he plays those animated visual,
all about the animated
visual
fake lifestyle stuff.
We'll just won't go the other way. We'll just leave it at the animated visual novels. How's that? It's family show, folks. Family
that's
show.
What they are, I guess.
Yeah, it's family show. Family show. Gotta keep family show. So that's for another time, night, and whatever.
White flag 88.
Oh, Bradley though, he's got that oil can by Hancock's out there, and
so far.
they've been a pretty good. Talking about real sponsor, they've been that's actually a real sponsor there, and you know they sent they watched the broadcast, loved it, still do, and sent out one of their gift boxes here. Saw it in the mail one day. I was like, wow, okay, that's kind of cool. So a couple real sponsors out here, man. Yeah.
And they even do Facebook posts about different things having to do with the league, and talking about how you can have your picture on Josh Freeman's car and all that stuff. You know, he runs it on Sunday nights with the oil can logo on there. So it's really cool, man, that they're really into it and they kind of embrace it. And, you know, just been cool for them to send, you know, you guys some stuff and everything. So it's awesome. I like seeing companies like that be involved and want to be, you know, and try to get this word spread around, and we don't mind helping them out, you know.
First lap is 23:11.
Wait, talk about, look at that. DJ Hargrove's up top right now with the champ Spence Thompson sitting in second. Tyler Justice, the man on the field right now, and I'm going to look and see what he's got. John out there.
Flag 7, second lap of a 23:45 keeps you fourth.
Oh, he didn't take the pole.
Green flag 19.
Here's the 19 of Mike T. Bruno. This should be the last qualifier we have here, as he was fastest in practice. See if he can take that top spot from DJ Hargrove, who I think DJ finished 4th or 5th last night. I finished 3rd. I think he was right. He was right around there, racing in his dad's place pretty much. Dad wasn't feeling too good. Billy wasn't, but Billy's here tonight.
Oh, and he did take the top spot there, but nonetheless, you know, we're talking about DJ. he's turned his season around.
Hey,
I've seen
there,
a
DJ.
real big turnaround, and
Man,
wow.
Bruno's the man.
Yeah, DJ's done a great job. Had a good race last week. They were just trying to build on that, but man, Bruno even ran faster in practice. He ran a 23.004, qualifying 23.001
on the interview.
All right, gentlemen, we're here at Iowa Speedway tonight, under the lights, short track racing excitement. Ought to be awesome here for the Monday Night Thunder Series presented by Motor Sim Racing Magazine. The man on pole tonight, he is setting it on fire. Mike T. Bruno, still waiting to boot to get a copy.
10-4, Joe, I got you, bud.
Well, man, I tell you what, you put that machine up front with a blistering pace out there. They might need to check, make sure your tires are still on the rims of that thing, because I think they were smoking and lighting the sky up. How's the track feel? How's the truck feeling?
Truck's feeling good, man. Hopefully get some long green flag runs in as normal, and track feels all right. A little tight up the exit, but other than that, feels pretty good.
All right, good deal. What do you think, you got enough to bring this thing home tonight?
Man, I hope so. Just got to stop making mistakes and make it to the end here, and hopefully end up in victory lane here.
Absolutely. Well, I'll tell you what, gentlemen, it's going to be a awesome track. It can be a very tricky track. I know Michael said earlier that wasn't all too well last season, but hey, it's Iowa. It's a short track. We'll have to see it. As always, keep those fenders and lug nuts on it. We'll see you at the end of this one, gentlemen. Good luck. All right. Well, he should feel confident with a lap time like that of almost over 0.2 faster. That's a blistering pace right there.
It really is. That's super fast there. DJ ran a 23.080, Spence with a 23.114. So just covered the field right there.
Yeah, he did. Awesome time. As just looking here, just seeing as we're getting set here to go back green flag racing, folks. It's Iowa. Just like John said out there in the chat, it's a short track that thinks it's an intermediate track, which basically thinks it's got some fast speed to it, but it's still, nonetheless, it is a short track. Very one that can be very forgiving at times, but also can sneak out and just bite you.
Yeah, and it's a very rhythmic track too. I find myself if I race on a track where you really got to have yourself in a rhythm, and you kind of go from the tone of the engine. I find myself at tracks like this, I turn the engine volume up just a little bit more, because I like to just get in that zone of hearing it, and over while you just develop that little rhythm there, and it really helps out. I mean, it's helped me a lot when I've raced here, and whether it's been in truck or Xfinity here, especially this week, it's been in official races, so it's been cool to be able to do these. But I like that type of racing there. It's something you just got to hit your marks every single time and get it right.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're about to get set to go here and see who can put this thing in victory lane tonight. We've got 26 bad, fast drivers and some bad, fast monster trucks on a bad, fast, short track here under the lights for Iowa Speedway for the Monday Night Thunder Series presented by Motor Sim Racing Magazine. That's right, Newton, USA. We've got some partly cloudy skies here tonight, so it ought to be some good ones. It's the track temperatures are down there. Like John said earlier, a lot of grip. And that's going to help out with tire wear. It's going to help out with these, well, I don't want to say it's going to help out with their mentality of driving, because sometimes that can actually make you think you can overdrive, and then you get into trouble.
Yeah, you definitely can, and that's like I was saying, 1 and 2. You definitely see some guys on the inside there driving in there a little too hard, maybe not brake enough. Push up a track, might get in somebody there, but coming off of 4, you got to get back in the throttle. You don't really want to stomp on it. Once you got somewhere, you just ease yourself back into that throttle a little bit, and then as you come off there, you can get back into it. So we'll see how loose they get coming off of 4. It's really not that bad unless you really push the issue. So I think we'll probably have more problems over in 1 and 2 than 3 and 4.
Absolutely. Well, right now looking really good as we're getting set here to go green flag racing, getting this thing set up here. What's going on, Eric Tish? How you doing out there, man? We were talking about your crunchy roll truck. Chunky roll or whatever. Reminds me of that candy bar, man. You remember that candy bar?
I don't know. No, I don't.
Remember the crunch? It was called the Nestle. It was like a big square.
Do I remember? They still make those.
Oh, they do? I haven't seen them in the stores, man. Now, I know they make like the bar, you know. But I'm talking about this was like a square thick. I'll find out what it is.
I have no idea.
Yeah,
I didn't eat many of those. I ate Snickers, Three Musketeers, and Kit Kats.
There you go. Reese's
got
too.
Little beef with Kit Kat. They imprint the name Kit Kat in on the chocolate. That robs you of chocolate, though.
Oh, okay. I like Reese's.
Reese's, apostrophe S. That means they belong to him.
Yeah, Reese's.
If you ever run into a guy named Reese and he says, "Hey, give me that," you better hand it over.
Oh, man. Well, here we go, folks. We're going to grid this thing up here tonight and set these monster trucks loose here. Let's get set with our gridding order here already as these guys, men, are up here starting out. Tonight on pole, Mike T. Bruno puts it up front. DJ Hargrove starting in second. Spence Thompson, the champ, in there in third. Davis Richards in fourth. Tyler Justice, Mr. Excitement, starting fifth. Michael Redding there in sixth. Ryan Broderick in seventh. Josh Sturgill right there in eighth. John Barron in ninth. Wow, I tell you what, good start for him there. Awesome. And old Eric Tess there, the Iceman for the Neverlands, back, starting in the 10th. As we look to the rest of the field, star-studded. Could be anybody's ball game here tonight. It's short track. Sometimes it could be about survival, and again, it could be about who's got the fastest the truck here tonight. So we'll just have to see as we get through this one. What are you thinking, John?
Well, I think if old Mike T can keep himself out of trouble and just hit his marks tonight, I believe this one could be his there. But DJ's turned some strong times in practice and obviously qualifying there, so he's figured something out. So maybe DJ get his first win here. So I got to think that front row right there is probably one of the two guys we're going to be looking at in victory lane.
Awesome. And you're right, John, that's it. Nestle Crunch. It was the big one. It's not the flat bar, but it was the big ones, man. You could get them, they look like little squares, and they were thick. Yeah, that's what it was. Anyways, I knew somebody'd come up with the answer. I know you want one right now.
The only one I ever remember is the rectangular one. I don't know what the heck you're talking about. Okay. Of course, I'm only 34. I'm not.
Yeah, it might have been back in the 80s. So yeah. Dang. Oh, man, I tell you what.
So I don't know.
Whoa. Wow. Yeah, unfortunately, I was 10 years old at that time, folks. So.
Well, now you just gave your age away.
Oh well. Yeah. All right. Here we go. We're gridding up and we're rolling off here. I'm a hope, man, that we're looking for a very good race. You know, sometimes, like I say, you got to cross your fingers here at Iowa. It could be a good one. It could be one of those like, what happened? Because you can get into trouble real fast, real quick. Not one of these self-cleaning tracks. So when an accident happens, usually the truck can come back up the track real quick, or they just stay there in the middle of the track. But either way, as we're going to grid around here, it's like old Spence out there is blinking just a little bit. Saw him blink a couple times out there. I call him Blinker.
Yeah, he acknowledged he knew something was up with his stuff here at the start here, so they'll keep an eye on it and let him know what's going on. But yeah, talking about somebody coming back up the track, if somebody gets loose off a 4 and they try to correct it and turn that thing back to the right, these trucks, they like to all of a sudden find grip when you do that, and you end up jerking the truck right back up in front of everybody. So hopefully these guys can just keep those things straight. And that's the biggest thing about these trucks is they're so drivable that a lot of times you find yourself over driving and entering a corner way too fast or trying to come off too fast because they're so drivable. So we'll see how it works out as we're getting ready to take a green flag here.
Yep, absolutely. Pace cars in turn 3. We've got 200 laps here under the lights. Iowa Speedway, Monday Night Thunder Series presented by Motor Sim Racing Magazine. Truck action here, the monster trucks. Man out front right there, Mike T. Bruno is going to take him to the green flag. Pace cars in. Here we go. Hammer down as they storm past the start-finish line in a thunderous move right there. Awesome as they go into turn 1 side by side. Like I said, that high side is working. Here comes DJ Hargrove on the outside.
Yeah, the high side is really good, even on new tires. As you get on old tires, you'll see guys go up there. But you really keep your momentum up, your revs up. Oh, and the big net code there.
Saw that one happen. And unfortunately, like I just said, it's not a self-cleaning track, and we just saw what happened right there. Well, let's go back on the replay, and we'll talk it through it. But as you saw, once the one truck went up high there, like you said, yeah, a lot of net code involved on that one. Hate to see that. Let's watch on this angle here as they came out of the turn there. Like I said, I don't want to slow it down yet. Yeah, they went in almost 3 wide, just a little bit. Hargrove got a little high there, but like what you said, that net code played a huge factor. And wow, that was just
a lot of space between the. You could have put Hakeem Olajuwon between those trucks.
Yes, it was. The unfortunate thing is it took out the 818 or 18, excuse me. I believe that's 18 or the 88. I don't know which one it was. But yeah, that was just a massive. Hey folks, it's an online game. It happens, unfortunately, and you saw right there, he didn't even go nowhere near his bumper.
Yeah, it's real unfortunate that keep having that issue here, and it's just one of those things you can't help. But really put DJ in a hole right there, as I believe he had to tow back, so he's lost a lot of time there, lost a lap so far. So DJ's going to have to try to make his way back up from the back to the front again, and he's done it the last 2 weeks. We'll see if he can do it again.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we got Mike T. Bruno. We'll hold off on talking to anybody now. It was only 2 laps, so really not going to be able to tell us much here about what the track's doing. Just unfortunate, man. DJ in the wrong place, wrong time. And again, you know, Davis, it just was not his fault on that one. We saw there was just a major net code there. Yes, we saw time adjusted wreck. He got 4 times. I think that's what you'd call it.
What's that?
4 times. They talking about time majesty out there. Majesty.
Oh yeah, got himself a couple 4Xs.
Yeah, got 4Xs.
Yeah, but you know what? It wasn't his fault. That's the thing about it. The guy was doing a fantastic job, and the 18 wrecked and came down the track, and Ty had nowhere to go, and he hit him, and that just caused a lot of problems for his car after that. So, but he did a fantastic job, and we'll see him back in that car, and I think he's supposed to race there again when they go back to Iowa.
Okay, cool, good deal. Well, it's good to men see, you know, he's getting an opportunity in there. And folks, I'm gonna tell you what, it's a learning curve. I mean, you just don't jump in those cars and do exceptionally well. Even some of the best out there now didn't jump in those cars or any cars and do the best. It took them, you know, a little bit. And you know, yeah, they're tough.
Well, I like to see when drivers, you know, work their way up and they take their time with it, and not just throw somebody to the wolves like we've seen some drivers get thrown in there. You know, lots of pressure on you in that situation. I like it a lot better when you can just step into something and learn. It's no different than doing this iracing right here. You know, you start out doing, you know, your late models and things like that. You go to ARCA, and then you move into a truck and work your way up, and you get better in each one as you go. And you know, once you hit the cup level, if you're a decent enough driver, it makes you better at driving everything else. So just like, you know, real life in this, you got to work your way up to get a good handle on things and figure out how to drive them, how to make little adjustments to them and all that. So really not too much difference other than you get paid a lot of money, and it hurts if you hit the wall.
I like the money part. Don't know about the hurt.
Yeah. You'd have been a great driver for a starting park team.
Absolutely. There we go. We on Joe Nemechek's.
Joe Nemechek's too. They're kicking tail in the trucks right now.
Yeah. Well, I'm talking about when he was in the cup. Man, he'd put it on pole, then go park somewhere. Oh, well, right now, definitely the guys up front there, they're not parking anything. They hope to park it in victory lane. Mike T. Bruno, Spence Thompson, Tyler Justice, Josh Sturgill, and there Eric Tess right there in the top 5 as we're getting set here to go back green flag racing. Going to be lap 7 of 200, folks, here. Put this thing in the books under the lights at Iowa Speedway. Here we go. Pace cars coming out of turn 4. Going to set the sights on here. Well, Mike T. Bruno wastes no time. He fires out there at the gate, and he's gone, getting a good jump. Right behind him, though, here comes the man, Tyler Justice. As Spence looks like he's still just having a little blinking problems.
Yeah, still a little issue with that there. But be able to settle itself down here. He tucks in behind Tyler right there, and then right behind him, you got the 96 of Eric Teschka. Inside that 17 got a little damage on that front end, and David Levine on the inside of the 09 of Aiden Young.
Yeah, absolutely. Here they come to the front. That's what I say. We talk about Aiden Young. The man knows how to drive here, but look at old Eric Tess, Iceman for the Neverland. He's bringing him and the girls to the front. They all cheering up a cool breeze. Who's that, number 17, Josh? Yeah, he's got a lot of damage. He got a little held up in that little crash before. But right now, these guys are doing what we thought. Kind of filling out the track, low, middle, and high. And everybody's going to the high side coming off of 4 right there.
Yeah, there's a lot of grip up there. You can be on the inside the first couple laps. As you go, you just kind of feel it doesn't want to stick on the bottom, so you just let that thing roll up the track a little bit. And later on, we'll see guys super high side down in 4.
Yeah, absolutely. Here got David A. Levine. We haven't talked much about him. He's up in the 7th. He's up underneath the number 17 right now. Behind him, Terry Macy's coming along. Brian Hartford there. Bradley P. Wilson in the mix in the top 10. It's looking good. Now, even though that 17's got damage, look at this is what I was telling you. He has the preferred line. Now, unless the 59 can make the pass going in this turn into the middle, if he's still side by side coming off that turn, thing about it is that 17's got that preferred line and we'll be able to walk right by him.
Yeah, he definitely does down in 3 and 4. Now here 1 and 2, you can make us inside work. You kind of back it up a little bit. You can come off a little bit faster and get that grip there. You see the 17 kind of drift right there. So if you're on the inside coming through 3 and 4, it's hard to turn the wheel, get that grip coming off.
Yeah, it is. And even though, like I say, he went into 1 and 2 down low, he was not able to clear him. He got him cleared that time. It was kind of inevitable, but he needs, you're going to see it all night long, folks. You're going to need to dive up and slide up there, use the high side lane, as the inside will become slick here, so to speak, and the outside. Now, obviously, the 17's got a lot of damage. It's going to slow him down, a lot slower than the other guys.
Yeah, but David just showed you a perfect example of what racing is right there, as far as trying to get by a guy in front of you. Don't push it. Don't do anything crazy to that guy. Just keep running your line. If you know you can beat him somewhere, just like I explained that you could right there, just keep doing it. It might take you 2 or 3 laps, but you'll get them.
Yep, absolutely. Just be patient, throttle control a little bit on that low lines. Like I say, tires will play a factor down there. And you'll get around them. Here comes the 88. That was a good battle going on back here. We'll tell you with the 90 machine there. That's Robbie Butler almost lost it. You'll see a lot of that too, guys, as the tires go on. These trucks will get a little wiggly. Up front still, Mike T. Bruno's up there. I'm just watching this battle back here, John, for like 10th, 11th, 12th and all. Storm of trucks back here in a dog fight.
We got a great battle right now for second as we got Eric and Tyler side by side. Eric has really come up through the field here and put everybody behind him, but the 7's been moving up on the inside, trying to take that spot back away from him. It's been a great battle here for a couple laps, and Tyler gets a run at him again. Absolutely,
yeah, run at him up front. Well, I don't know which way to go. You're talking about up front, but these guys back here putting it 3 wide also. That's back here for the 11th, 12th, 13th, and 14th. They are still not giving an inch back here. So I see Eric finally made that pass up there. So it looks like he's walking away from Tyler just a little bit, as now it might be Aiden Young's turn to try to close up in on Tyler.
Oh, wow, and the 62 and the 90 really close right there. The battle you were talking about earlier. These guys are really hard at it right here.
That's why I said it's a dog fight back here. I've just been watching the last several laps. I mean, these guys, man, are tooth and nail, door to door, and wheel to wheel coming around this track, lap after lap, not giving an inch. Definitely good racing. Hey, very respectful style racing as the 17's all up the wall just a little bit. He's going to have a hard time with that truck. It's going to back these guys up here with the 90, 62, 75. And them boys have just been battling and beating each other half to death.
Oh, 62, a little wiggle right there. Like I said, that inside just very tough to hold. But he can make it work right here. You got to enter 1 and 2 a little bit slower. Let it roll through. You can get back to the throttle a lot faster than the guy on the outside. But now you see the 3 wide trying to get by that 17 as he's having some issues now.
Yep, absolutely. Well, John, just to answer your question out there, yeah, right now you'll see guys going down low 1 and 2. The problem is they won't do that through a long tire run. They will come up a lane going in 1 and 2 eventually and run that middle to high coming off there, because that's going to be where the speed is. Right now you're still on newer tires, not so bad off. You can run the lower side. These guys back here are battling harder than what we normally would see, so that's why you're seeing a lot of it. But most guys, if you saw a good side-by-side battle with these guys back here, the guy on the middle to high lane and the guy on the inside lane, if they were kind of equal, the guy on the outside is going to get the drive coming off with 17s in the wall.
And I think it's he's just trying to stay out of everybody's way right there and just drove it up. And 1 and 2 is a corner, talking about different lanes here. In 1 and 2, you want to be on the bottom or the middle. Now, the middle is really where you want to be on a long green flag run. You can't be too high. There are some massive bumps up there, and if you hit those, it pushes you to the right and it'll put you in the wall.
Yeah, you're right. That's what I was saying. As of right now, that's why you're seeing a lot of guys prefer to go down low. I go 1 lane up when I run here, always doing through, but I also am more of a long style runner than I am a short style runner. And you're right, as far as going into 3 and 4, you're going to stay lane up, and definitely you're going to ride up against that wall up there. That's where you're definitely going to be coming through the front stretch and all that going into turn 1. But you see right there on this one, you see a couple guys already starting to come up to the second lane there as we're still looking at this battle back here, because up front, I'll tell you what though, Eric Tesh is gaining on Mike T. Bruno.
He gains a little bit here, another gains 1 lap, loses the next, so it's just a seesaw battle back and forth. Same thing with this 34 of Ryan Broderick trying to pass 88 of Brad Wilson. Just gains a little bit on him as well, and then loses a little bit of time, but Ryan's going to that high side trying to make up some time here. But see a lot of guys still using the middle in 3 and 4 as well, so maybe a little bit more grip out there than what you might be used to in another race. But middle to high is where you want to be in 3 and 4. Once you get on the low side there, it's very, very slick and hard to get back on that throttle.
Yeah, well, actually, if you watch Eric Tesh, he's running the exact same line that I would run here. Definitely not what Tyler Justice would run, because he just ran it in a wall. But watch Eric Tesh run 1 and 2. That's exactly where I would put that truck at. That's how I run this track, and that's why he's pretty good on these long runs, and that's why we're probably going to see him match time for time there with Mike, because it looks like Mike has now moved up in the same groove. So like I was saying at the beginning, yeah, the low line, but after a while, so we're watching Eric here, the line he's running in 1 and 2 is the exact same line I was talking about. See how he's 1 line up in that second groove, and then he just brings it right off there, coasted off the turn.
Yeah, and it's a super fast line to take if you hit it right with your braking. Let that thing roll through there, you can get back on the throttle, and it really comes off pretty good and straight right there for you. So as long as you hold in that line, if you get in there a little too hot or a little too high right there, you have to wait for that throttle, and that can let the guy behind you make up some time.
Absolutely. I usually say back up the turn, and that's what I normally would do, is back up the turn. Here, right now, Tyler Justice, though, yeah, he hit that wall, lost a lot of time. He's going to have his hands full with Aiden Young, who is still staying down a little bit lower, so we'll have to see what he can do. But you're definitely going to see these guys come up to the high side there. Yeah, a lot of bumps here. You're right there, Chris, man. A lot of bumps here in this one. Now, he is actually taking that lane that I was talking about there in 1 and 2, a little bit up there, and I've seen Aiden do some incredible things here at Iowa, obviously over there at ExtremeMotorsports99.com. I've seen him run the truck series there and do exceptionally well. Tyler's struggling right now.
He's got some damage right there on the right side, I believe, and that's going to play a little bit of a factor into it there. He's pushing, maybe just overdriving a little bit as he sees the guys ahead of him getting further and further away. But this track also, I mean, it plays so much like a short track. You can, maybe outbrake a guy a little bit just like you would at Martinsville. And you see that's what Aiden was kind of doing. That's why he was on that inside lane. You can make up time by doing that, waiting and getting real heavy into the brake, turn it down there, be on the very inside, make up some time. Now that guy's going to pull you down the straightaway, but you'll catch him enough in those turns.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I used to have a lot of people that would actually catch me in the turns, like you talk about, want to try to go on the inside. Obviously, we'd drive it coming out of the turns, but he made that pass. He's up in the 3rd spot right there. Eric Tesk about 2nd behind old Mike T. Bruno. Just a little further back here in the field here. As old Tyler Justice 4, Spence Thompson, the champ, still hanging on the 5th. David Levine's moved it up to 6th. Bradley Wilson's right there in 7th. Old Ryan brought it with the Tide Machines in 8th. Right behind him, Brian Hartford there in 9th. Old Blake Filone out there and rounds the top 10. We go in the 11th spot here. We got Robbie Buckner looking good out there, the BA Graphics Machine. Terry Mason sitting in 12th. Gordon Larson there in 13th. We got to go all the way back here to old David Heiser. Like saying that last name, kind of cool last name, but sitting in 14th. And old Gerald Beasley, a newcomer here, looking good. He's back there in the 15th spot. He's got his hands full with old Craig Lerman in the 16th. And Jason Alexander right there, 17th spot behind them. As we go to the 18th spot and the 17th. That's Josh Sturgis and old Ryan W. Daniels back here. You got the Hammy Ham machine running around out there. He's probably doing more eating than he's running because he's sitting in the 19th spot right now. Jason Burgess sitting in 20th. John Barron back there, SimSpec PC machine. He's sitting 21st. Michael Redden got involved in that wreck early on. Hadn't used the fast fix. Just got passed by Davis Richards. He was 22nd. Davis Richards sitting in the 23rd spot. Zach Lingren. Oh, he's lingering around in my little pony back there in the back, 24th. DJ Hargrove, unfortunately 2 laps down. Just trying to ride this one out. Got a long way to go to maybe get back up there and get a couple laps, get back into the mix of this thing. Rounds out the top 25, takes us back to the beginning here. So, out of a rundown order there of all them trucks. Nice group of fields, but still got 25 of them running here.
Yeah, we've had several guys really make up some spots here. We got David Levine started 15th. He's running 5th right now. Brad Wilson started 17th, running 7th. Brian Hartford in the 71 started 16th, running 9th. Blake Filone started 18th, running 10th. So a lot of these guys that started in the back are working their way up to the front.
Ooh, well, I tell you what, I don't know if you just saw that. Tyler Justice just hit the wall, and when he did, David A. Levine had a run on him. The problem was he ran right in there and bumped the rear of him and hurt the front of the car. Now it's stacked up the field, and we got Spence Thompson, Bradley P. Wilson, Ryan Broderick, all right there now in a pack running. Tyler Justice has got his hands full with this truck right now. He has painted the side of that wall several times here.
Yeah, I believe that might make the 3rd or 4th time I've seen him push up in that wall there and getting kind of rough with David right there for a second. Real close to him there. We got him 2x2 here. And the 89 is going to probably get the lane here and drive off. See the 59, the rear end comes out just a little bit. Got Tyler on him right there. That doesn't help you keep your grip right there coming off.
No, it doesn't right there. Tyler Justice, boy, 3 wide definitely would not be the best of maneuvers to do. Now, Ryan Broderick has to be very patient right here as he's riding behind these cats. Old Bradley Wilson was able to get around him. This is, folks, this is for the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th spot here. These trucks are all duking it out, battling right now. Lap 39 and BA. Brad's around. Well, no caution because he was able to keep going.
Hey, he saved that thing and still going there. It's a good job on his end there, maintaining that thing, being able to save it right there. But yeah, just as we were talking about before, you can just get loose, take a tight condition and create a loose one there as you stay in the gas and keep giving it more and more wheel and the rear end comes out.
Well, right now is probably where you're going to see tire management play off. And we just saw Tyler Justice. He got around those trucks, and then all of a sudden that truck went shooting off down the inside. And here comes a man on the outside. That's the 71. He was able to take that from him, which is Brian Hartford. He's on the high side. Yeah, Tyler is just struggling along with David right now, who was coming through the field. And he got that little damage on the nose. That's kind of slowed him down just a little bit. But tires here, we're at lap 41 or 200. We've been running on the green flag quite a while, I'm going to say. So tire management is definitely going to start playing a factor.
Yeah, we're on lap 41 here, so definitely now tires are coming into play big time. A lot of these guys are taking care of their stuff, like the 71 of Brian Hartford, the 34 of Broderick, Spence Thompson as well. So a lot of these guys really took care of their stuff, and it's paying off for them here.
Yeah, absolutely. Up front still, Mike T. Bruno out front by about 8/10. Had Eric Tess right there in second, Aiden Young in third, and Spence Thompson fourth. Ryan Broderick sitting in fifth. Watching this battle right here for 9th, or actually 10th, 11th, and 12th. That's Blake Phelan, Robbie Buckner, Terry Mason right there. Good little battle they got going on here.
Yeah, I'm watching the 90 a little bit there, trying to see what he's still using that inside lane right there. It's working for him. He's maintaining his position there, and the position on the 11 back to the bottom again through 3 and 4.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, you're right. He is using that inside lane. Kind of odd that he would stay down there. Maybe he thinks that that's where he needs to be, preferred line and whatnot. What's going on, Bob, out there? But I would have done came up, but hey, it's working. Like you said, he's able to maintain. Problem is, catching the guy past him is two different things.
Yeah, and that may be why he's doing that, is he knows if he runs that line, maybe he's faster. Doesn't want to create an issue. So right now, just doing what he's doing, he's allowing the truck to roll, and not really pushing the issue, not wearing his tires out either. So obviously they're not that worn. If they were, he wouldn't be able to hold that line down there and keep up with this 11.
Yeah, absolutely. You're right on that with that, because they're running almost identical times. Mike T. Bruno's, man, just setting pace up front there. Definitely got this. As of right now, he's got a stranglehold over the field. He definitely wouldn't want to see a caution at this point. Eric Tess has just been riding there behind him. He's loving probably this long green flag run himself. Aiden Young right there in third, because we're seeing a lot of green flag pit stops right now.
Yeah, and it's about that time when some of these guys are probably screaming for tires. They want to put those things on and get their grip back here. And watching them in the 85 got loose coming off of 4 right there. Did a great job collecting that thing back up. Zach Lindgren, that 85 did.
Yeah, I hate to see that on his end there. Still watching this battle back here, though, with Robbie, Terry, Gordon. As there's DJ Hargrove. He's trying to get back up on his new tires. He's got newer tires than those guys. Woof, Zach Lindgren, like you said, almost lost it.
And DJ's just in a box right now, 2 laps down. We've got several guys ahead of him that are 1 lap down. So Josh Sturgill being right now the guy that would get his lap back. Now it's Jason Burgess as we cycle through. So it doesn't really help him get his lap back. So he's put tires on it, trying to get it back the hard way.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he would like to see, not cycle, if anybody, not to cycle through some green flag pit stops and actually maybe get a couple cautions with everybody running on the lead lap. Maybe he could get it up there, but yeah, I'm like you. He's going to try to do it the hard way. Looking good so far, but up front still, I'm going to tell you what, Mike T. Bruno has just got a commanding lead. 1.6 seconds over that man, Eric Tess, right there. And he's still maintaining fast lap times. 24.214 is what I'm showing his last lap. Eric had a 24.332, so it's almost about a 10th or so.
And the fall off hasn't been bad. For 50 laps, Mike qualified with a 23.001. So, looking at, about almost a second and a half there. 1.3 second fall off. So that's really nothing. So he's done a great job being able to maintain this thing and keep that lead. And if somebody wants this thing to stay green, it's that guy in the 19.
Yep, absolutely. But normally we'd say that'd be like for the 96. We'd want him to stay green. But right now, look at Aiden Young running right there in the 3rd spot. He's just out there just trying to clock some laps down. Ryan Broderick running in the 4th. Guys got kind of spread out a little bit here. You got to go back here to probably the 5th, 6th spot. Actually, the 6th and 7th spot there is old. That's Ryan Daniels. He's on the high side. 62 machine right there. Who's the 62? That's David Heise.
62 David Heise. He's 2 laps down.
All right. Well, he's on the inside. Must have got his pit stop. Yeah, look at the bumps right there as they go off into turn number 1 and 2. He got real high with that 71 machine.
Yeah, well, smart move on his part. Just let that 62 go. That's not for position. Doesn't want to create a net code incident either. So doesn't hurt anything, as he's got he's 9.8 behind the leader, but running 6th. Brad Wilson's in 7th, and he's 3 seconds behind. the 71.
Yep, absolutely. You know, and when you have something like what happened at the beginning of the race with a net code like that, it plays in the back of your mind of trying to get near someone. Then you're like, man, I don't want to say scared, but really that's a lack of a better word. It kind of does scare you a little bit to get near somebody, because well, that was a massive one between Davis Richards and DJ Hargrove.
Yeah, I mean, you hate to see that and guys get taken out, but it does help create a green flag situation like what we've seen here. Since that incident, these guys have gone caution free.
Yeah, absolutely.
Knock on wood. So it plays into everybody's head a little bit, but that's good because on this track you don't really need to be that close. So you just got to keep going, like what we saw David Levine do earlier. Just go to work on that guy in front of you there. Run where he's not. Figure out how you're faster and just go to work on him.
Yep, and just make sure that let's wait till they make a mistake, so to speak. Kind of just sit there, ride the pace, and well, he's got a slew of them right there. Robbie Buckner still in that 90 machine, looking on the inside. Now he's moved up maybe one lane a little bit. He's not totally down the inside. Got a good battle going on there. That's actually, oh, excuse me, that's Zach Linger, my bad. And I think Zach Linger's a couple laps down. Well,
he's 2 laps down as well.
And in the wall now.
That's 75 with Terry Mason on the high side now of that 90. Trying to take that spot away. That'd be for 11th position here. And got the 00 behind them of Gordon Larson.
It is what we saw, the run that 75 just got off the turn right there. That's because that inside lane with the used tires that we're on right here, yeah, he might get a good run going in. Problem is coming off in the middle off, just not going to get that run. And now the 00's got the preferred line. Watch this battle. Going in, you're thinking, yeah, the 90's got him. Not so fast. See you later. There goes the 00 on the high side. That's what I'm talking about right there. Perfect textbook Iowa of how to pass somebody's what the 00 did. You see the 90 still trying to dive on the inside. He just can't get it on that low line.
Well, and for anybody that's never seen this track or raced on it here on iRacing or anywhere else for that matter, coming off of 4, it's kind of D-shaped almost. So if you're on the outside, it really plays into your hand because you can get back in that throttle, let that truck work its way up to that wall a little bit. For the guy that's on the inside, he pretty much has to play that thing like it's straight because there's nowhere else for him to go. So you have to wait on the throttle. You can get back in a little bit, but you can't get what you need to get that speed and the grip coming off like the guy on the outside can.
Yep, absolutely. And if you try to hold it down there or try to step on it, problem is you might go way up in there into the side of the guy on the outside. So preferably if you can get on the outside of someone going into the turn, yeah, you might think they're going to get you going in. But if you keep them beside of you in the middle of that turn, 9 times out of 10, I ain't going to say every time now, but 9 times out of 10, you're going to get them coming off the turn. They're just not going to be able to hold it down like what you were saying. And again, like here with the 00 and the 75, let's watch what he does here. Let's see if he gets that high line. Obviously, David A. Levine's up there, so it's going to be a little bit harder. But if he can get up there and get past those guys, now these trucks are going to be all together.
Yeah, absolutely. And all 4 of these trucks, this is 4 position here, so nobody has to move or get out of the way. But the 75 is really working hard, trying to stay up there and stay on the inside of that 59. Once he gets in there, especially right here, 1 and 2, going to stay in the middle lane right there. Yeah, that's a perfect way to do it. See how he is able to drive that thing back to the bottom, get back on the throttle right there. So he's going to have a good run here. But coming off of 4, could hurt him if he can't slide up in front of this 59 right here.
If he cannot complete that pass going in there, and he got it done. You're right. If he was not able to clear the 59 right there, that would have been all for naught because the 59 would have just drove right back on the outside of it. And let's see what he can do here. The 00's, 59 knows that, which is David A. Levine, obviously. He knows that. He's not going to give up that middle high line. So the 00's going to try it on the inside.
Yeah, I like what Terry Mason and the 75 is doing right now. The line that he's taking to go after these guys. And I want to watch him right here through 1 and 2, see if he diamonds this off again. He does a little bit, not as much as he did last time. He doesn't have a lot of grip, but if you're able to roll that thing through there and really pull that truck back down to the bottom, you can straighten the wheels and just tag the throttle, just get back in it, get a huge run down the backstretch.
Someone told me here at this track one time, so one of the good ways to do it, back turn up, let it roll in, if you can be full throttle coming back off the turn, you're going to beat everybody 9 times out of 10, and we're under caution.
Whoever told you that was right, and I'm looking, and I don't see anything.
I don't either, unless it just maybe bounced the wall or happened while we didn't do nothing.
I
about
caught it. Let me see who it is here.
All right.
Oh, it's the 90.
Oh, Robbie Buckner. You can see that on here. All right, let's go back on the replay there. Yeah, like I was saying before then, it's you roll into the turn, let it glide into the turn. But if you can be full throttle coming off the turn, you're gonna pretty much beat just about anybody. Thing about it is that's easier said than done. Sometimes you gotta be very patient. Let's watch this replay here. 90 machines on the inside of the 81. He's down low, down low. Craig Lerman's behind him. It looked like he wiggled just a little bit there, but I don't know, maybe if him and, I'll tell you what, you want to talk about net code. That looked like it again right there. Just don't look like he hit anything. Good job by the, I don't know what number that was, 81. Not to slam right into the back of him. He got slowed down right in time, but wow. Now I think we could probably get a talk with our leader up here real quick. See what he kind of feels this track is doing.
The leaders and then else.
Probably left.
Well, we'll wait till they're done.
Yeah, you gotta go in the...
Alright, they're still talking, folks. Hang on a minute.
I think I got it worked out now.
Mike T. Bruno, Joe A. the booth, got a copy?
10-4, Joe, I got you, bud.
Well, we had a good long green flag run right there to that first quick caution. Now it's time to ask, how did the truck feel on that long green flag run? You were setting some blistering paces out there, so how's the track feeling and the truck feeling?
Oh man, it felt great. I was so happy to see that long run. Feels like it's been forever since we had one of them. The truck felt good though, you know, a little tight on exit. Really got to back the corners up, or else you're going to end up pushing up and popping the wall. But other than that, man, it felt real stable, real smooth, and didn't really get too bad towards the end of the run either. It felt kind of the same throughout the whole entire run there.
Awesome, good deal. Yeah, I like this place. It can breed some great racing, sometimes breed some aggravation, either way. But it's been a really good track. I enjoy it. Good racing all around so far. Definitely got to ask. Think you got what it takes to bring this thing home at lap 200?
Man, I hope so, bud. It's still early. Got a lot of good guys out here. I know a lot of these guys want to win, and just as bad as I do. But just take it one lap at a time and see where we are at the end.
All right, well, good luck out there tonight. Guys, that was a long green flag run. Very respectful, and hated that first incident there. Just a major net code when we watched it. I mean, it's just bad, and hate the participants involved, but nonetheless, man, awesome run. Guys, see you at 200. Keep these things together. Good luck, gentlemen. All right, well, he definitely wanted that long green flag run. He enjoyed it. And looked good out there. Now we're going to see what he can do on a shorter style run, or at least off of it to a longer run again.
I mean, he pretty much had the field covered the whole time there. We saw at the end of that run, the 96 of Eric Teschke couldn't really make up too much ground, running about the same lap times as Mike did. So, good run by both those guys. We'll see how it works out. But I got to think as long as that 19 keeps it one piece, he'll probably be there at the end.
My next question is, if you're Eric Tesch and you ran behind there for the longest time, you wasn't making much ground, what do you do different now to figure out, if anything, to try to maybe pick up some time on him?
I just have to run him hard here, see if Mike really wants to take that battle or not. Knowing Mike, he'd probably let the 96 go, as he knows at the end of this run he'd probably have a truck to beat anyway. But We'll have to see. I think Eric, he came up through there pretty good, pushed it for a couple laps, made up some spots. So see if he wants to really push Mike here. Mike's got a lot of other guys back here. The 34 of Broderick, the 71 of Hartford, and Aiden Young. We know Aiden, this type of driver, he's just all out. So they're going to be getting pushed from these guys behind them as well.
Yep, absolutely. To answer your question real quick, Bob, no, these are fixed setups, no adjustments. The only thing they can do is brake BIOS, and that's it. And they probably were just talking amongst themselves while I kept clicking on in the radio. Pace car's in. About to settle here, go again. Mike T. Bruin just gets a good jump, wastes no time. Probably the best thing to do. Just put hammer down and take off. Here goes Eric Tesh. He gets a good jump out there up front. As right now they're single file. 71's looking like a little racy. Here comes Aiden Young on the inside.
Yeah, big run by that 09 on the inside right here. And the inside is obviously the fastest way around when you're on new tires. So staying down there, letting that thing roll, get back in the throttle there. You can really be aggressive on the inside here, especially with this track temp being so low.
Yep, absolutely. Well, I appreciate that, Michelle. How you doing out there in the chat? Good to see you. Here comes the 09 on the inside. He's trying to get that thing up there as quick as he possibly can. Hopefully maybe make up some time-wise very early. Maybe that's something he actually, saw differently, because we know Eric Tesh, he's going to be like, look, guys, y'all go ahead. You want to race this hard early on? Have at it. We know how he runs. He's definitely going to, just hold that truck up as long as he can.
Yeah, he's doing a great job right there. Running that middle, it really gives the 34 nowhere to go. It gives the 09 no exit.
Yeah, absolutely. These guys are awful racy earlier. Let me ask you this. Is this the best tactic to do, run it hard now?
He'll do it for a couple laps, but I think if these guys keep the pressure on and stay around him, we might see him just let some guys go and chase them back down. But him and the 34 right now are really close side-by-side battle right here. And Eric's not giving him any room at all.
Absolutely not, because he understands the 09's right there. Unless he gets up there in a high groove, which he does, he stays right there behind Ryan Broderick. Now let's see if the 34 can run down that 19 up there, or if anybody can run him down, because it is a dog fight back here. Right now, the 09's on the back end of Eric Tesh, and don't count out that 7. He got 4 fresh tires, and we know he likes to run those things off. But boy, he's got his hands full tonight.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what though, especially right here, he's getting such a great run off, and that last turn and 3 and 4, the last lap, just really drove it in there, super aggressive, made up a ton of spots in that one turn.
Yeah, absolutely. Right now we're riding still along with Eric Tesh, the 09 there of Aiden Young made the pass. Brian Hartford's on the inside of him. So a little bit of cars, man, taking him on it. So we'll see what happens on the long green flag run, if he's able to just run these guys down. I think that's his MO. Eric is I'll use the long green flag runs. These guys might be thinking, if they don't get up there, if they let Mike T get too far ahead, the problem is how do you? It's almost like that race that Tyler did. Every time we had a caution, he just blew out to a big lead, and you keep giving that. There's really nothing you can do.
No, Mike really has this track figured out. Got a spin here.
Yeah. So wow, went a long time with no caution. I'm gonna say it's probably 51, isn't it?
It looks like the 13's on the infield.
Yeah, it'd be Ryan W. Daniels. Let's go back on him. I know the 51's slow and all. He might have just had to check up, but let's go back here on 13, see if he was just victim or if it actually was. Yeah, looks like he got a good run on the truck in front of him, and then the 23 also spun. Like he just went into the brakes a little bit too hard and spun that thing around. He almost had to, look like lift a little bit there. He was getting a good run on the truck coming up in front of him. And good sportsman didn't want to run him over, so he hit the brakes real hard. Looks like that truck just stepped out from under him. Maybe a little bit too much rear brake.
Well, that and you're running so close together here sometimes, especially coming out of 4. If you're able to stay in it, as we saw, both those trucks, the 23 and the 17, were super close, and it's really hard to react that fast. Yep.
Now, here's a scenario, folks. If this race starts going like this, hopefully not. Hopefully we do get another good long 60-some, 70 lap green flag run in and run this thing on out. But if it starts doing this, keep your eye on a couple guys. One being Mike T. Bruno, but the other one being Tyler Justice and Ryan Broderick out there, because those guys ain't taking anything away from anybody else out here. Those two gentlemen love short run styled sprints, so to speak. Very good at it. We've seen them do some marvelous things. I'm not saying anybody else ain't out there. Aiden Young probably could be another one, but this right here could play into their favor very well.
Yeah, it definitely does. We saw, you know, these guys come in and get tires again, so not too many laps on them, but give them the opportunity to go in and put tires on it. I feel like maybe we'll have another long green flag run here as we did before, so keep letting them put fresh ones on there, man, and Mike is a tough guy to catch.
I know.
As even cookies aren't safe right now.
My bad.
Well, it's your channel. You do what you want, and it's your birthday, so you kind of got two things going for you today. And he's eating another one.
I'm trying to finish the first one. Oh, I was trying to finish before I said anything. Oh, I'm hungry, folks. Come on now. It's been an eventful day. I just didn't eat. Oh, very, but hey, that's what we do. We have fun up here. So, well, what about this here? Am I right to see that David A. Levine and them did not go into the pits?
Yeah, that's right. He did not staying out there. So we'll see how that works out for him. But gonna have some guys behind him on tires here, and they'll probably be able to chase him down, you know, pretty fast. But maybe doing it for track position, thinking, you know, cautions breed cautions, or maybe get a good short run in here and have another one. So either way, you know, David's not a bad strategy guy there. So he kind of knows what he's doing, and probably didn't push his truck too hard there on those couple laps anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, this right here makes a new mindset if you're Mike T. Bruno, because obviously here, well, you haven't been out and back in traffic, so now you got to be mindful. These guys behind you now will want to try to pounce and see just how calm, cool, and collective you will be coming through there. Tim's like, yeah, enjoying his cookies. Yeah, I like my cookies now. Come on now. And but it's going to be interesting. And Eric Tesh did take tires, didn't he? Because he's in front of him.
I don't think Eric went in. I think he stayed up.
Okay.
I think Mike was the first guy to hit pit road.
You know, I don't really know if this is going to be bad off, because, well, the way Eric was going backwards, you know, obviously we know he saves tires tremendously, but this might not be that bad for him or most of the other ones, because we wasn't running that long since the last time they pitted. What, about maybe 5 laps?
Right, and I was looking at the lap times. I don't think these guys up front really pushed anything, and we know Eric didn't. You know, we saw him battle there for like a lap or two, because that doesn't hurt much. And then for Mike, it works out for him. He's got 4 fresh ones, and he gets to start on the inside.
Yep, absolutely. And it's going to be a test for him too. Obviously now you see, well, maybe later in the race, if I get marred back in traffic somehow, see if I can come through here, how patient I can be, because when you're out front, sometimes you lose that. As pace cars coming out of turn 4 here, folks. We're about to see what this going to be like here. David A. Levine, the man up front. Robbie Buckner's down the outside. Look at old Levine, gets a good jump there. Mike T. Bruno gets a good jump with him. Eric Tesh, boy, he powers it to the front here. Mike Bruno there behind the 59. Robbie Buckner on the outside. Like I say, you got to be mindful of these trucks here and see what happens, but a good run on that inside with the 19.
Yeah, we got 3 wide right here, almost 4 wide.
Wow, you are kidding. They are coming out of the turn 3 and 4 wide. These guys very racy on this start. Eric Tesh is up front, but behind them, man, it is a fight. And I told you, look at Ryan Broderick. He smells it, coming almost 4 wide again.
Yeah, 3 wide there, 59, it slowed up to 7. Tyler Wise, the backside of it, realizing we got a long way to go here, but really trying to get around that 59 as he's holding him up.
Yep, absolutely. Man, this is a awesome dog fight here between these two. Good run up front right now as old Mike T. Bruno takes it back to the point here. He's looking good doing it. Man, that was awesome. The guys went 4 and 3 wide, and they didn't wreck.
Yeah, and obviously staying out for David didn't work out there. Not only was he on some used up tires, but he's really got some damage, and I think that's what's really been hurting him. Probably this early on should have went in and had that taken care of, but I maybe thought it wasn't going to hurt him that bad. But obviously it's really playing a factor in how he's running right now.
Absolutely. I'll tell you what, if there's any truck out there I see right now, maybe on a short run or a run at all, that might be able to do something, might be that 34 machine of Ryan Broderick. Seems like he's a man on a mission right now as he drove it in hard there, but then Eric Test was able to stay back on the outside and get back on the outside over there and run off the turns. We're going to see it again. If he don't get back up high coming off the turn, he does. Boy, he cuts the nose off of him that time.
And we were 3 wide again back here with that 90, 11, and 88. 89 goes inside David Levine there, goes around him, and 11 and 88 super, very close to 11, hits the 90. These guys are able to keep those things straight.
Yeah, it is. I'm back here watching these guys. Wow, what, somebody's back there trying to do the Pokemon, man. Look at these guys back here battling it out, like you just said. 2 and 3 wide back here and able to maintain and keep these trucks rolling.
Oh, the 90's dirt tracking it. 62's got to let him try to save that thing. He gets him around.
Yeah, he did. Saw that one live there. Don't know if that's going to bring the caution out or not, if he's able, because he looked like he got down on pit lane there. Looks like he had a eel handling truck to begin with. Man, there's some awesome racing going on back here in the back. Ryan Broderick still trying to run down Mike T. Bruno up front. So we'll watch what these guys are doing back here with Blake Filone and company.
And Blake's just trying to go to work on the inside here. We'll see. The 00's done pretty good on the high side here in the earlier runs. We'll see how he does right there. A little too high through 1 and 2, in my opinion. There won't be in that middle line right there. Not so much on that high line, as we know there's bumps up there, just as in 3 and 4. But the bumps in 1 and 2 are tremendously terrible.
Yep.
That's a thing.
Oh, Jason Burgess up there, man, sliding against the wall a little bit, getting that monster machine up there, man, painting it black some. There's some good battling going on back here in the back. Hello, Ryan Daniels in the mix. He's the first truck lap down. He gets lucky dog there. He'd be back on the lead lap. That's just some good battling going on, though, here, John, back in the backside.
As we've seen some unbelievable racing here, especially with these guys, you know, on some new tires there. It makes you feel like Superman, and they pulled some things off, man. It went 3 and 4 wide a couple times, and we know how that can work out for you, but they're doing great. 3 wide again with the 17, the 62. 13's on the bottom, gives way, and 17, 62 going back at it here.
Yeah, it is 3 wide. I can't believe these guys are taking the 3 wide here at Iowa and still been able to maintain what they got. Well, the 17 gets a little wiggly coming off the turn. So like I say, just some awesome dog fights going on back here in the back here. We're under the lights here, folks. Monday Night Thunder Series, presented by Motor Sim Racing Magazine. Pause for a second. I saw 62 come up into the side of the 23 there. But we're in the lights here at Iowa Speedway, and it has been thrilling, to say the least, right now.
These guys doing an unbelievable job. It's been a great race so far. Very good racing going on. As we said, you know, 3 and 4 wide action here. So we just know how these guys are going to get. The closer it gets to the end, they're really going to amp things up here, especially if they can get some freshmen on there. And the end of these races are usually just unbelievable. So I like the paint job on that 62 because I'm a Mopar fan, but it is on a Toyota. So
Yeah.
who we need to talk to at Dodge and get them back into racing, but it would be nice.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's kind of funny. The guy over at Winstail Cup Series that I do on Sundays, you know, they run the K&N car, which all of them are Chevys, but he's got the Dodge paint job, Dodge Charger paint job. So I say he's got a Dodge Chevy machine. Oh, it's good times over there. Good race here so far, though. And, oh, Ryan Daniels is in somebody.
That caution will definitely be out for that.
Yes, it will. Looks like he just got a little loose, tight, came up into the track. We'll watch a replay here, let all the viewers see it. Saw a little bit of it there, but yeah, he's out there throwing ham hocks around on the track. Shame on him in the Hemi-Hand truck. I still say it's a nice looking paint job that thing's got on it. He done messed it all up now, but Hey, you're right, Tim. Awesome race. Watch what it is. He dives on the inside of 62. Yeah, that thing just pushed way up the track. Ooh, John Barron, nowhere to go. Ouch. Just one of those deals. I'm going to tell you, this is not the easiest of track. This is like what you said, John. This is a momentum, patient style track.
Yeah, it's all about hitting your marks, and timing has got to be perfect here. I mean, you know, you don't hit the mark right, don't hit your, you know, braking point, your throttle point right, and it can really upset the truck. It can make you very loose coming off 4. It can make you, you know, push in 1 and 2. So that's the thing about it. It's just it's about keeping your momentum up, but it's really about hitting your marks in order to do that, and it doesn't take much to miss.
Yep. We'll see if we can't get a talk with old Ryan Broderick. He looks like he was pretty fast out there.
I used to have that.
Oh, we'll do that after they get done talking.
Yeah, they're trying to sort of. Ryan had his wheel malfunction on him. That's what caused him to just go straight in that turn.
Oh, okay. Now, I hate to see that. Ryan, if you hear the stream, get stuff fixed. What's wrong with you? Well, hopefully they'll get it sorted out before we go back wanting to go here. We'll wait. Because Ryan Broderick sounds like the main man that's been able to, closest one so far has been able to maybe even do anything with Mike T. Bruno up there. So it'd be interesting to see maybe kind of what his strategy is here to play out. But I'm like you, John. We're not done with business about to pick up.
Oh, absolutely. And 34's done a great job here. And he always comes on very strong at the end of these races, too. So it'll be pretty interesting to see what he can do with Mike here, but going to have to get a good restart.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, looks like Mike's going to be back out front. Ryan's going to be right beside him. Aiden Young's going to start in at third. No Eric Tess right there with him. So, usual up front. Not used to seeing old Tyler Justice not being able to move this thing up here. And this track kind of, you know, we were talking about it. It's not really an aggressive driver style track. You said it's more of a momentum, and you got to have that throttle control going into it. And you got to be easy with it a lot. You got to be very patient with the truck going into the turns, because you can't overdrive. If you do, you're going to lose it, or you're going to push it into the wall. We've seen Tyler do that a couple times. So, you know, some tracks, man, fit drivers, some don't.
The reason I like his track so much is it reminds me of Michigan, obviously a much smaller scale. But, you know, Michigan's the same type of track. You can't overdrive it. You got to hit everything just right. Got to have good, you know, wheel control, throttle control, the whole deal. And you have to put it all together every single lap. And if you miss one little thing, it's going to mess your whole lap up.
Yep.
And that's the thing I like about this track, is that you can't be too aggressive. You can be a little aggressive at the start for about 4 or 5 laps, and that's it.
Yep, absolutely. Well, right now, well, Mike T. Bruno, he's been pretty good out front all race long, looking good. Another one up there I've been watching all race long is that 71 machine, Brian Hartford. He's been able to maintain and stay up there in the top 5.
He's had a good night all night long so far. We're, you know, a little over halfway here, on lap coming to 104 of 200. So that 71 has, you know, been inside the top 7 or 8 pretty much the whole race here. I started back in 16th position, running 6th. So one of those trucks that made up a lot of spots early on this race and been able to maintain it.
Yep, absolutely. So, well, lights off on the pace car here. We're going to see what we can do this time around. They got real racy that last time. It was some exciting, awesome 3-wide, 4-wide racing, and they made it work. That was another thing. So, phenomenal job by them.
And I believe we'll see some more of that here momentarily. So the green flag comes back out, as we got some guys like Spence Thompson, Terry Mason, Brad Wilson back there that had a lot of speed, and, you know, may be able to do something with these guys in front of him here. And we'll see how it works out for the 7, as we know he's been, you know, battling that truck a little bit.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, you're right. Don't forget about TN Designs, Racing Designs and Graphics. As right now, we'll talk about racing. We're going back here racing. Green flag, Mike T. Bruno, he is gone. Set sail out front. Well, Tyler Justice got a good run there on Eric Tess. He's on his back deck lid. Ryan Broderick, let's see if he can get him cleared. Problem is, 34 is going to have that preferred lines. They go 3 wide.
And back at the 3-wide action here. The 34's got the good run right there. on the high side. Eric didn't give him much room, stayed in that middle again. So Eric not not pushing it too much, but not giving a whole lot either.
Absolutely not. Like we said here, Tyler Justice says, well, let me try my hand on staying up here this time. The 34, though, says, well, not so fast. I'm going to give you a run for it.
And Eric Taskett here on the inside of the 09 of Aiden Young, trying to make that inside work. Got Brian Hartford behind him, Spence Thompson, Terry Mason, Brad Wilson, and the 11 of Blake Falone in 10th.
Absolutely. Hey, what's going on? Got a race for calls out there. Awesome to see those guys out there, man. Guys do awesome work, man. And their name means what it means. They actually race for causes, and it's cool. Some of the causes that they race for, and awesome right there. We're here with the Monday Night Thunder Series presented by Motor Sim Racing Magazine. Right now, this is some great racing. You're right, Justin, John. Awesome racing going on out there. As old Mike T. Bruno's up front, Tyler Justice second. You got old Ryan brought it right there battling it out. He settles in. Look at old Eric Tess on the outside of that 71.
Yeah, I was looking in the back there. The 17 and the 23 got into each other again, and it ended up putting that 23 in the wall, and very respectfully kept that thing up there to keep it out of everybody's way.
Yeah, absolutely. Right now up front, Tyler's running that low line. Ryan is obviously moved up high, and boy, he gets a run coming off the turn.
And Aiden riding that low line there, waiting to see if it was going to work, and listening to some radio chatter here about some different lines and things that guys are doing here. So trying to learn a little bit too. These guys are trying some things that they haven't done yet.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, right now, I mean, the one thing is Tyler tried. He got up there to the front, but Ryan Broderick was ultimately able to get around him on that high side. I still just say what I've said all race long. The one lane up, coming off the high, that's the way around this track. They can experiment all they want, but what I've seen so far, some of the best lines, that's where it's at. So, but that's what you got to do, though. You got to experiment, because sometimes you're going to get behind a guy that's going to take that line away from you. So you got to be able to, if you want to pass him, well, there's only two options: move him out of the way or go around him.
Yeah, and here you can do both of those.
Yeah,
without it hurting you too bad, especially if you give him a little bit of piece of the chrome horn there. But I think that Eric Teska's done a really good job of trying to take position away from people, or at least keep them from passing him, riding that middle lane when people are around him. So maintaining position right now. He's running 6th. You know, not a bad deal right here, as we still have a very long way to go, and he's obviously hoping this thing, you know, stays green. He's given up some spots, but you know, we know this guy can come back at the end of the race and pass all these guys back.
To answer your question, yes, they run Tundras in here. They don't run the Dodge or Fords. I wish they did, but they don't. But they do run the Tundra and the Chevy and the truck. This league has an abundance amount of Chevys. I do run another league that has an abundance amount of Toyotas. So it's kind of a mixed bag depending on where you go and what league it is. Good battle going on up here, though. As Tyler Justice takes that spot back. Aiden Young's right there with a 71. And Tracy out there in the chat said, I need to change the cookies out for some cake. My wife asked me if I wanted a cake, and I said, no, I'm good, because I probably wouldn't end up eating it anyways. My little one would. I opted for the barbecue sandwich.
That's a good choice. They put a little candle on top of it.
There you go. On the bun. Well, right now, Tyler Justice might have got back in the 2nd spot, but boy, he has got his hands full with that truck, and I got a feeling, John, it's the line. I mean, when he comes off turn 2, watch him. He cannot keep that thing from sliding out from under him, and it goes down, and you just see Ryan Broderick just rides right on by him on the high side. So, sure, in the short run, that inside where he's running will hold up, but in the long run, he's just going to tear those tires apart.
Yeah, it really does. And I said it earlier, we'd see some guys run that super high line. Ryan Broderick's the only one I've seen so far to ride that super high line I'm talking about, almost up there into the wall. But it is fast. You can just stay in the throttle a little bit longer, and that keeps you ahead of the guy, you know, behind you, and helps you pull him down the straightaway.
Yep, absolutely. We talk about times right now. I mean, I don't know what Mike Bruno's doing. He's not running any different line than these guys are doing. But boy, he has got an awesome bad fast truck, and that thing is on rails and is super flying tonight.
I know what Mike's doing.
He got nitrous?
I know the secret.
He got turbo?
No.
He got supercharger.
I actually ran an official race here the other night with Mike and watched him a little bit and learned a little bit from what he was doing. And he lets the thing roll, man, just like nobody's business, really. And it's great. Great braking. That's the thing about it, is you don't have to be hard on the brake. You can drag a little bit, you know, you can create a little bit more pressure and enter it easy and come off, you know, come off like a lion. And that's what he does. He just really lets the truck go to work and work for him and not overdrive the thing.
So he don't use a lot of brake, because I know I don't hardly use any brake at this track just to settle the truck going into turn. That's it. Just rarely,
well, you can
tap it.
You can do it two different ways. You can really drive it in 1 and 2, but really give it a ton of brake. But then you got to let that thing roll, or you can drag a little bit, you know, carry a little bit more speed. And I think that's what he's doing right now, is just allowing that thing to work for him. And you kind of know as you go, the run gets a little slower, but the truck is going to operate the exact same way. So the more you can have the wheel turn, kind of stay out of the throttle, you know, real hard and easy, you know, drag brake a little bit there, you can get through 1 and 2 so much faster. And that's where you make up a lot of time on guys here at this track.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, it is the thing about going into the turns here, and I like this track. I've always had good success here. I actually ran the beef cars in the official last week. Started 20th, ended up 8th. So I brought that thing to the front and started just passing cars left and right. Loved it when I ran into the leagues here when we came to this track, because I always did well. Because you're right, it's one of those momentum style, and for some reason, I guess I just like short tracks, but Iowa, I really like it. But for the most part, this race here tonight has been a very, very good race.
Yeah, it's really a great job by these guys. You know, we've seen, you know, a little overdrive, you know, here and there, but nothing major. The guys have a good handle on it here. The truck is not that difficult to get around this track. The trick is on the long runs, you know, really knowing how to drive the thing. And if you overdrive it from the beginning, it makes it super hard for you at the end. You know, the grip's not there. You turn the wheel and you just can't feel. You know, if you have force feedback in the wheel like I do, which for what I paid for this, you better have almost everything. So,
well, let me tell you another thing I did. I turned my force feedback all the way down to 4.
Yeah, that helps some people. I like to have feedback in mine. So.
Well, I won't. All right. We talk about feedback for a second, and just let the viewers out there understand what we're talking about, because there is 2 kinds of force feedback, and like you said, different people like different things. I don't like that rumble style feeling of force feedback where it shakes the wheel a lot going into turns. I want more of a force of it, with the wheel getting stronger as I turn the wheel, almost like I feel the tires grip. There you go. Yeah, that style. Which is why I turned it down like I did. Now, obviously, everybody's different, and everybody drives different and whatnot. So you're right. It all depends on your driving style and how you like it, because I've talked to some pros who actually drive these things without force feedback. Now, that's a feat right there.
Yeah, it really is. It depends on what track you're at. Now, there are some where I'll really turn it down because I think it's a hindrance in a way, but a lot of the pro drivers, guys that have raced in real life, say it's better without it if you can do it, because it's almost a little more true to life. I mean, obviously in real life you can get a good feel for the car, you can feel it, but it's not as hard to turn. You don't feel quite as much. You got power steering, basically, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So it's not quite that bad. But yeah, I'm like you. I don't, you know, you hit the bumps, you feel things, but my biggest thing is I want to feel the grip. And on the long runs, I feel like where I've got mindset, it really helps me out knowing when I've got grip and when I don't. And then I know when I've overdriven the car. I make little notes and everything. So some of these guys run with a ton of feedback, and some run with as little as possible. The other reason being, if you run with too much feedback, it can kind of fake you out a little bit. You think, all right, I'm at the edge of where I can turn and get back in the throttle here, and you're really not. You have a lot more to go. You just have to fight that wheel. So you have to set your feedback in such a way where you're controlling the wheel, not the wheel's controlling you.
Yep, absolutely. And, you know, I've done that before with the thing, man, hit a bump and shake it half to death. And I'm like, holy cow. And the problem is Then I found myself sawing at the wheel, so to speak, and instead of being very smooth going into the turn, because I'm trying to fight that force feedback and bumps, and I'm in there sawing the wheel, so that's why I turned it down. But you're right. So just trying to give there's your little lesson on force feedback, folks. As Ryan Daniels is all kinds of trouble on the wall and almost ran up there in the 59. He had to get heavy on the binders.
And we've got a call. The 11 is around.
Yeah, we caught the tail end of that one there. Unfortunately, the Pokemon machine out there looking for some Pokemon. Let's go back here and see exactly what happened, because now his truck's turned upside down.
He got a little help at the end.
Okay, well, let's watch it here. Somebody ran over Pikachu. Well, oh yeah, the 0-0 came up just a little bit like just same deal, man. Just pushed up into him. Oh, and Ryan Daniels, he ran into him with a ham hock and knocked Pikachu over. And now his truck's just kind of just sitting there.
Yeah, very, very realistic crash right there.
Yeah, that was just a boom.
When he hit him doing like 70 and
doop. You know, well, hey. Yeah, some odd stuff has happened tonight as far as
I know it.
Wow. Well, let's see if we can't get talk with Ryan Broderick this time. They still talking on the radio?
No, everything's clear.
All right, good deal. We'll see if we can't get talk with him now. Ryan Broderick, Joe White in the booth. Got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, Joe.
Well, Ryan, I'll tell you what. Look good out there in the 34 machine. How's your night going? You think you got anything for that 19 up front?
It's going pretty good. I got caught up in something earlier and had to go to the rear and come back up. So I feel like I'm pretty good on long runs. I don't think I really have that short run speed though. I don't know if I have anything for sprinter, but I think I can get a top 5 out of it.
Well, you're looking good out there. So yeah, my next question is how's the truck with tire wear feel? Because we've had some awesome long green flag runs, so you should be able to tell what your truck's going to do on a short run as opposed to kind of like a long run.
The front feels pretty good. If you slide it early in the run, you build up those pressures, it gets pretty bad. But if you can just use the right rear for the first 10 or 15 laps, seems like it's good for the rest of the run. But it feels pretty good. It's a little tight like it always is here on iRacing for FIC, but it's probably one of the better setups.
All right, well, good deal. I know somebody in the background back there with you. They're having a jamming good time. So you keep having a jamming good time behind the wheel of that truck. And gentlemen, I'll see y'all at lap 200. Good luck, gentlemen. All right, well, got some good information there. He feels like he's got a good long green flag run truck. Maybe though, like we were saying, maybe not have enough for the 19 up there. But we'll have to see. And look at old Waylon Lamb out there in the chat. What's going on, Waylon?
Where is Waylon?
I haven't talked to Waylon in a while, man.
I haven't either. He just doesn't talk to anybody. I don't know what his problem is.
He don't like us no more.
I know it.
It's terrible. You need to be in the market for a new body and a new computer.
Oh, that's nice. Waylon and Aaron are spending best friend time together.
Oh, Aaron's there with you? Boy, we ain't heard from him either. Awesome. Well, hello, Aaron. Hello, Waylon. Are y'all like brothers?
Oh, they're almost like brothers.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, look, Ryan had the ham truck out here, and he ran over a guy and threw a ham hock at him.
He did.
He did. Knocked Pokemon right out.
Knocked him over. Pokemon, you're a little out of control, and you need to calm down. Here's some ham.
Did. Right on his side. Oh, well, you know, I guess it begs the question here, can anybody do anything with that 19?
We'll have to see. You know, we still got a ways to go here. Be on lap 137 of 200. Nobody's been able to yet, but can't count anybody out here. He's got the 34 and 96 back here. Been pretty strong. Tyler's been back and forth, man. It's really tough to see what he's got for him. And Aiden Young, Spence Thompson, got a lot of good guys up here. DJ Hargrove has worked his way back up front here, man. He was 2 laps down earlier on in the race, now running in the 8th spot.
Yeah, absolutely love to see him have a good run here tonight. Definitely got hooked up into that bad net code incident at the beginning. Like you said, 2 laps down running. I was talking to Ryan, don't need a new computer out there, Waylon. I know you don't need one. I was getting set here to go back green flag racing here, so we're going to see if anybody has it. But boy, look at that, Mike T. Bruno and Tyler Justice. I think on a short run, Tyler might try to see if he's got anything for him.
Oh, he can try, but I don't know how great it's going to work out for him. Now, Mike's been super fast. Nobody's had anything for him yet, but even on a short run like this, Mike will probably come back and pass you because Mike's really put down some unbelievable lap times. See Tyler hit the wall.
Yeah, he drove that thing in there very deep, man. And that little Ryan brought us going, well, which way you going to go? High, low, because I'm coming around you one way or another. Or you can drive that thing back into another wall. I need to come around here so I can get up front. What's going on, Chief, out there? How you doing? I'll tell you what, John, if you want a guy, man, that can get you around a road course, check out that dude, Chief, man. He's one of the road course cats that can wheel a GT3 or LMP machine around these tracks.
Well, I don't run any of those cars. I'm not much of a road course guy myself. But I am getting a lot of practice in for Watkins Glen coming up. Extreme Motorsports99.com was we're going to be racing there in a couple weeks here.
Yep, absolutely. Well, you know, we got Sonoma coming up in the Racing Freaks this Saturday, so got some road course racing. I know John Marine out there probably pop his little head up here in a minute and go, oh, did I hear right turn, left turn? That's right, Racing Freaks this Saturday. Sonoma. It'll be a late race, by the way. It'll be at 11:30 at night. One of them late ones. I think it's because the real Daytona's going on Saturday.
Yeah, that is correct.
Yeah, that's right. Yep. So, I will either be up here, and if John doesn't fall asleep, he'll be here like at 2 in the morning. Oh, gotta love it. What'd you miss, Chief? Well, right now, that's a good race. Actually, it went about 60, 70 laps there on the green flag, the beginning of it. Right now, it's been a really good one. We're at lap 142 of 200. These guys put on a good show. Mike T. Bruno, he's been a man out front just dominating. He's just taking off. He looks like old Sim Spec PC out there flying around. Ryan Broderick has tried to bring the Tide machine the best he can up front. Eric Tess trying to work his way back up there. Tyler Justice trying to hang on. And there's John Marine. I told you. I knew he'd say something.
A good battle right now at 71 of Brian Harford and Eric Tesh. He runs in Eric's tire tracks right behind him, giving him a little bump every once in a while. And Aiden Young right there and Spence Thompson just hanging out, waiting to see how these guys sort everything out.
Yep, absolutely. Right now, 171's on the inside. It looks like he's going to try to take a Eric Tess right there as they go door to door down the bad stretch here for lap 144, 200. Hey, we're under the lights, Iowa Speedway, folks. Short track racing here. Monday Night Thunder Series presented by Motor Sim Racing Magazine. And then I mentioned also TN Designs. If you need some racing designs, you need anything out here, look good. Right now, Eric's looking good. He's got the girls on the truck. He's got Aiden Young right behind him. And good battle going on between these guys.
Yeah, he and Brian just swapped spots right there for a minute. Now Eric's going to run behind him and maybe see, how was the 71 able to stay with me right there? Maybe he just let him go because he didn't want all that pressure on his bumper.
Yep, absolutely. Well, you asked what other kind of racing I like. I like drag racing and NASCAR and GT3s. Fast cars, fast girls, and fast food. How's that? I used to say that when I was younger. Not so much now because I'm old and married.
Yeah, I was going to say the second part there.
Although I still like the fast cars and the fast food part.
We got a great battle right here with the two with DJ and the 59 David Levine. DJ just can't seem to get the grip on the bottom to get around him right now, but just got to keep working on it and see how it goes, because you got to run where he's not. David's staying on that outside. You know.
His wife standing behind him with a frying pan, folks. That's what it is.
No. In here by myself. I just know.
Where's the dog?
The rat, though, they're put up. I think they've started to learn that they have to go in that room when I'm doing this stuff sometimes.
Oh, gotcha. Well, usually here, you know, him back there wolfing up a cool breeze or howling, man, because he was trying to cheer it on. But you're right, it's a good battle going on here. David A. Levine and DJ Hargrove. It's good to see him bounce back and get back on the lead lap and out there running in the top 10.
He's done a great job, man. I thought when he went to man, right as we're talking about him, he gets sideways there and he saves it. Keeps that thing going. It's a great job right there. He easily could have spun that thing.
Yes, he did. Well, it was right on the inside there, trying to get around to 51 and just lost that thing a little bit. Obviously held onto it. That's what we're talking about, folks. Not only has he got a good paint job on that truck, but this track, very difficult. I mean, you got to be on your toes. And right now, Ryan Broderick is a little faster than the man up front by about a tenth, almost a tenth and a half. The problem is Mike T. Bruno still has a 1.4 second lead. So it would be interesting to see, and we've said this time and time again, is when you get a big lead, you can afford to get out front, watch your relative, run fast for a few laps because you know you're out front, let off of it, let the guy catch you about 3, 4, 5 tenths, and then put the hammer back down just to see what you can do. And usually when you're that far ahead, that's kind of probably what I'm seeing him doing.
And sometimes if you do that, you know, the guy running second or third, they're like, oh, making up so much time on the leader makes them want to drive a little bit harder. So it can kind of get in their mind a little bit. Maybe they think that there's a little bit more in the tank and they start pushing it. So sometimes a leader can play games with people as well.
Yep, absolutely. Well, Tyler Justice riding in the tire tracks right there, the second place man. And we're still watching this, though, because Ryan Broderick is gaining. But I have noticed something. They've changed their lines. And 1 and 2, that is. They're running much lower instead of up higher than when they were.
Yeah, well, in the trucks, you can really back it down, let it roll through there, and keep your speed up. Right here's what I'm talking about. That's where you're off of it. Really turn the wheel, and you get back in it here. Bring that thing off the corner, you know, super fast and straight. You can really almost diamond it off, or you can just take it on that bottom as long as you got grip, and just drag that brake, stay out of the throttle, turn the car, and make it roll, and then you're good to go.
Well, let's see what the time is this time, because that time still, Ryan Broderick's just dead on consistent lap after lap around the 8.5s, 8.4s. But Mike T. Bruno is flirting around with the 9.6s, and he's ran a 24.0. So he's off just a little bit. I mean, Ryan Broderick has found something that is catching him. It's slowly but surely, but it is pulling in. I mean, even every time we see Mike T. Bruno pick up his time, let's watch as they come across the line this time and see what he does. But every time he does pick something up, it's not enough to be faster than Ryan Broderick. Now, unless he's just in a tire conservation mode.
Well, and Mike may be, but I'm going to tell you what, Ryan just took a low line through 3 and 4 and really was able to get back in that throttle pretty good. So we'll see how that's going to work out. Goes a little bit higher through 1 and 2 that time. The way that he approached the 3 and 4 made him have a little bit more speed, so didn't quite get it to roll through 1 and 2 like he wants.
No, he didn't. He still ran a little faster there. Mike T. Bruno, we're just kind of watching this. At this pace, obviously he's got plenty enough time to do it. Let's see what they get across the line this time. Oh, wow. Yeah, he's like a second and a half. And he is close. Well, we talked about it. Can anybody, now here's the next thing, even though he might be able to close on him, can he get around him?
Well, that's going to be the thing. And I mean, right now he's showing that the truck's working on the inside lane, but the more he does that, the more he's using up his tires even more. So you know, I think he was catching Mike pretty good using that high lane in 3 and 4. Maybe go back to that now that you know the truck will work down there. Don't use your tires up so much right now, just trying to make up time on him.
Yep, absolutely. We'll see what his odds. It looks like he went back up to that higher line this time. Now a little bit lower line through 3 and 4, and he lets it roll all the way up to the wall. Wow.
Yeah, see, he's really hammering it right there. That's the thing. It's yes, it's working, and you're making up a ton of time.
Yeah.
But then when you need those tires to be there here in a couple laps, are they going to be there for you?
Well, I noticed he went back to 1 and 2 into that middle high groove. As before, he was going down low. Now he's going a little lower than Mike T. Bruno and letting that thing coast up the wall. And then he's hammering it back down. Like you said, momentum's all about that. I just noticed his 1 and 2 entry. Now he went a little lower in 1 and 2 that time, but normally he was up higher. He's still making time. It's not a lot, but he is still making time.
Yep, going back to this high side right here. So let's see what this does for his time, because it'll be interesting to see. Kind of diamonds it down just a little, brings it down off of 4 to carry that momentum right there. So let's see how it works out for him here, as I'd like to see him run that high side through 3 and 4.
Wow, they were almost dead even that time around.
Yeah, I think he's caught up with him enough here that he can try, you know, go back into conserving tires here, run this high side, and see if it's working. And then he knows if Mike gets away, just go back to what you were doing before.
You know, when he comes off of turn 4, and all these trucks do, it looks like when they're heading right for that wall, and then instantly it stops. To me, when I'm a driver, that's a scary feeling. I'm gonna tell you, Ryan Broderick is definitely making up some time, and we did not expect this. Now again, folks, it could be the fact of, well, is Mike T. Bruno toying with him? We'll just have to see. Or has Ryan found something that can run that guy down?
Yeah, and he may have here, and you know, we see him kind of run this high side here. Got a lap car here to mess with, so that's not helping things a whole lot, but no, not big problem there for him. So I just want to see with him run this high line here, because I think the more he tries that low side, obviously he'll use his stuff up, and that's kind of what Mike wants him to do, obviously. But you know, we still got a very long way to go.
Well, even him going by the lap traffic, well, he is a little bit slower there. My man, I thought he was about the same, so we'll see. He didn't really lose much. We could see, though, yeah, he's letting that car or that truck drift more off the turn. Look at the run he gets there. Wow.
And as long as you have the grip right here, because you're staying in it, you're not letting out. And that's the thing about this track. It kind of spooks you a little bit. If you're trying to run as hard as you can, you take that thing down there, just throttle it up, and then let that truck drift. And you just hope that it drifts enough, you got enough grip to stay out of that wall. But the more you use up your tires here chasing this guy down, when you try that move one time, you'll have to lift, or you're going to be slamming and taking that wall down.
Yep, well, we know Mike T. Bruno. Now, here's another thing. Nobody's been on the back deck lid of that 19. He's got to think about that, too. That's going to make him a little nervous. He might make a mistake. He's not had to worry about this all race long. Now it's like, wait a minute. He's coming off the turn. He's right there on my back deck lid. Do I need to try to protect my position? And you know, and I know, when you get into protect mode, sometimes you can make a mistake. As he might, like you said, they're already flirting with disaster on that wall, very close. But Ryan might be able to get up there to him, but getting around him is going to be another subject.
Yeah, it is. And the best thing you can do if you're the leader in this position here is just focus on hitting your lines. You know, let the guy behind you go where you're not. If you want that high line, you take the high line. You just keep him from taking it. And then it's, you know, it's up to you. If a guy keeps pressuring you and putting you in a bad spot and you think something might happen, then you have to make a decision on whether you keep racing him that way and take a risk, or you let him go.
Yeah, absolutely. Good battle right now. I mean, this is for the lead, folks. We've been watching here the last several ones. We're at lap 170 of 200. Now the question is, what about tires and fuel? Are they going to have to pit for the end of this one?
I am not 100% sure, to be honest with you.
Question, ain't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I would think tire-wise, yes. Fuel-wise, you may not have to, but you're not going to have any tires by the end of the run here, so we may see some of these guys hit pit road.
Oh, well, he got a good run there and almost left that outside open for him.
Yeah, it looks like Mike's having a little bit of an issue on exit on both ends here, 2 and 4s. We see right there, he's taking it easy coming off of 4 right there, and the 34 is really able to push it.
Well, here's the thing. Like I said, you've not had anybody on your back deck lid all race long. Now you got somebody coming up there racing you hard. your mindset changes. I don't care who you are. Your mind changes. And now when you got a guy willing to dive it down on your inside, now you've got to change your whole mentality of racing.
Yeah, you do, and that's amazing to see the 34 able to keep that inside lane and you know, have the grip there that he does. Obviously, we know we weren't going to make the pass on the inside right there, but big goal there was just, hey, I want to keep the run going, keep my momentum up, and we got a truck around. It's a 90 on the backstretch.
It is. Hopefully, oh, when it brought our caution out, it's probably not what Ryan wanted to see. Then again, maybe so, because I'm going to tell you, if he can drive that thing that way on old tires, what in the world would he be able to do on new ones?
Yeah, that was a lot of fun to watch, and Mike Bruno agrees. Listen to the race chatter, giving Ryan Broderick tons of credit there. Telling him how awesome that was. He was hoping it would stay green.
Yes, because here's the thing. You put these two on new tires. Yes, Mike's been bad fast all along. He'll get that. Obviously, if he gets out front, we'll get the leader's advantage, so to speak, of being able to take off. But I think Ryan Broderick's found something.
Yeah, if I'm Ryan Broderick, though, I love this caution, especially with what he's learned. All right, we've got enough laps in here where you can run these trucks hard. You know, the way that he was running there at the end is the way you're going to be needing to run at the end of the race. And so if we stay green, I think it really plays into Broderick's hands very well. Yep,
absolutely. Well, when we go back green flag racing, we're going to look probably about 20 laps to go. That's enough time. And obviously, if he had that much grip at the end of that one with what he was doing, boy, he's going to really feel it now with 4 tires. What's he going to be able to do? Now, obviously, Mike T. Bruno, now you're in a different position, mindset, so to speak, because now you've got to think about, okay, he's learned something. He's going to be able to run this thing hard with those new tires, and I'm going to have to get out here, and I'm going to have to run mine hard.
Yeah, and the other thing is, sometimes on new tires, what you were running at the end of a run, as well as he was hitting his lines and running, sometimes on new tires that doesn't really pay off. So Mike has shown a ton of speed on the short runs. So can Ryan Broderick keep up with him on the short run, or does Mike create enough space as he did in that last run that it'll pay off and he'll be up front at the end?
Well, talk about runs. Eric Tess, I think, took 2 tires on this one, and he's going to see what happened. It's going to be interesting on this one because he's going to be on the outside. Mike T. Bruno is going to be on that inside with him.
I don't think that, you know, the 2 tires, in my opinion, I wouldn't do that. Doesn't really pay off here to do that. I mean, he gained a spot for 2 tires. But again, Eric is very good with, you know, loose cars and, you know, worn out tires. So maybe he knows something, or he's tried something in practice that he thinks is going to work here.
Yep, absolutely. Now, like we just said, there's enough time for Ryan Broderick. He could be patient. It takes time getting around the 96. Obviously, we don't want to count Eric out. Definitely don't want to count 71 and the 7 out either. They're definitely good, fast-paced, you know, short style run drivers. They love this kind of setup here. But Ryan can take his little time trying to get around the 96 and then pace himself to run back down the 19 like it did, and obviously go towards the end. Obviously, he wouldn't want to see a caution with less than 10 to go. That'd kind of upset the whole thing. But if it goes green all the way out, definitely would be interesting if that 34 gets around the 96 very quickly.
Yeah, and I think that he will. Starting on the inside, that's a huge benefit for him, especially 4 fresh ones. It's going to be play in his favor, really. So I think maybe the 96 did the 34 a little favor there for the restart. So we'll see how it works out. But it's going to be interesting, as we'll be about 179 laps in or so.
Yep.
So,
yeah, like I say, about 20 to go.
Short distance. Yeah, these guys are it's going to get amped up here.
Well, that's what I'm saying. In the 7 machine up there behind him, I don't count out Tyler Justice or that 71 or any of the others. But yeah, it's almost go time here. Now, we've always talked about Eric Tess being a long runner. He does like looser trucks. Maybe that's what he wanted. I want to loosen this thing up, and he's going to put the hammer down. He's done it before, so not out of the water here, because I'm going to tell you, if somebody can get up there, we've already seen it with the 19, ruffle the feathers, so to speak. Get up there and get him off of his game plan of being comfortable. Obviously, you're right, Bob, and him out there. He's a leader. He's going to get that advantage of taking off, so he's definitely going to get, like you said, the whole shot. that's just hey, that's just being the leader. It don't matter who's up there. They're going to get that advantage. So there's nothing that the 3496 can do in that sense. But again, it's all going to depend on how much those guys beat there.
And if you're the 34, really, your main goal here on the restart is to just beat the 96 on entry into 1 and 2, or if you're side by side, beat him on exit, which he should be able to do on 4 tires. So you're going to see Eric lay back a little bit, and that's because he's trying to see the leader, watch him, and see his takeoff so he can time it perfectly as well.
Yep, because he's definitely going to want to get there. So here we go. Pace car's in. You're right, John. Yeah, put the logo up there in the far corner. Cool deal. What's going on, Dre? Pace car's in. Mike T. Bruno. We stacked them up right there. So Ryan Broderick didn't get the jump that he wanted. Stale go 2 by 2 going into turn 1. Here's where the thing is. Can Ryan Broderick get past the 96? Here comes Tyler Justice, though, on the inside. That's another one. He drives the wheels off of that thing going down the back stretch.
Just up in front of the 71 crossing over here, taking the inside lane. Trying to see if he can get back around that 7, but 7's up on the high, puts it in the wall again. Tyler's had a rough night coming out of 4.
Yeah, he has. And they're 3 wide, 4 wide back there almost. Race up front. Eric Tesh is putting the hammer down here, not letting the 19 go. Neither's a 34. They're still racing it out back there. Oh, we got battles up front, in the middle, and the back. Oh, we're under caution. Now, this is not what the 34 and them wants to see.
That's a lot of trucks involved. 2300.
Craig Lerman. We'll go back on Craig Lerman. We'll see what we got here. All right. Well, they were very bad, fast, racy back there in the back. So a lot of 2 wide, 3 wide action going on back there. Davis back there. Oh, looked like Bandit 23 got around with the My Little Pony, and oh, it was just one of those wrong time, wrong place type of deals back there. So Zach lingering, well, he was lingering around in the wrong spot that time. Now, back to what we were talking about here a second ago, because that's just unfortunate for those guys. This is not what the 96-34 want to see, but definitely what the 19 would like to see.
Yeah, sorry, I listened to the little race chatter there. But
I don't listen to that.
Yeah, I do.
Gets me off my game. Yeah, I just look at it. It's going to be interesting. Eric Tess got a good run. The thing about it is I just don't know if he's got. I don't want to say if he ain't got enough, but Aiden Young up there in 4th spot. Don't count him out. He could be able to do something. You're talking about Tyler Justice tonight. Yeah, him and that wall have had just a love affair all night long.
Yeah, and Tyler's just really pushing it right there. Saw he made some real aggressive moves. Obviously, wanting to make up some spots here. He's running 6th. It's odd seeing him out of the top 3 sometimes, but maybe overdriving just a tad bit there. Just get himself calmed back down and, know he's got a fast truck here and try to get around some of these guys. But Eric did a great job on the restart, able to hold his position there. So maybe the 2-tire deal pays off, or maybe he'd much rather, have a little bit of a loose truck here. Loose is fast, able to keep some speed up, don't have to worry about, a tight condition. So maybe it will pay off for him. We'll see.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll see if he's learned anything here, because we know the 34 did, and he was running them down there. It was interesting to see. Great battle up front here. And thing about it is, you're right. If we keep getting cautions here, it's pretty much going to be the 19 show. I hate giving it to a person, but unless he just messes up, you just can't keep giving a guy that many shots out of the dark there and taking off from you. You're going to need some long runs here to run him down.
Yeah, you do, and the 96 doesn't want all these cautions either. Once he gets those tires back going, heated up, and the left side's obviously being older tires, so they're on another heat cycle here, and that does matter in this type of racing. So we'll see how it works out for him. I think he's still going to be just as good as we saw earlier, but the question is going to be, here towards the end of the race, if I stay green, if that 34 is going to be able to get around him with the 4 tires versus Eric's 2.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, because it's going to be interesting. He was able to Eric was able to stay in front of the 34 there, and was running pretty good. Obviously, Mike was taking off. Tyler and company back there trying to run him down. So, hey, I want to welcome all the people out there, the folks. Hope you enjoyed this race so far, because it has been a good one here at Iowa Speedway. Very good race. A lot of green flag action, a lot of action up front. And, you know, caution here and there, but that's expected for any short track. We're wearing the lights here at Iowa Speedway, Monday Night Thunder Series, presented by Motor Sim Racing Magazine. What's going on, Dre? Broadcast call Dave out there. Man, what's happening? Who won your race tonight? Well, it's not hard to run smart out there, Tim. He's in the lead.
Yeah. And late here, lights are off on the pace car, so we're getting ready to go back at it here. And it's not over by any means here. These guys can get up here and rough each other up a little bit, and it could be somebody else's race. So Mike's got to stay on top of his game here and get a good shot out of the gate here.
Yeah, and, you know, and that's the thing too. We got to think about is if they can just get to his back bumper. It don't want to take but just one little boot right there, and you know, mess up his rhythm or whatnot. Just get on the inside, outside of him, mess him up. So it's going to be interesting here, but yes, obviously he's going to keep getting those jumps out front.
Yeah, if you're 34, you need a better restart this time you got last time. Just stay right up on his bumper there and try to anticipate best you can.
Yep, absolutely. Smart thing. All right, Mike T. Bruno did kind of brake check just a little bit before he took off, and then we'll see if he does it again. No, he takes off and is gone this time. Ryan Broddick, though, man, didn't get the jump, but Eric Tesh did. Eric got a good run there that time. The Ryan's going to step back in the line. So Eric dives that thing on the inside. This is the first time we've seen anybody dive on the outside of the 19. Like I said, that's going to get him off his line.
Yeah, it does. He pinches that 19 down there. You see Eric doing what he did before, and he's just trying to keep the guys, you know, running where they don't want to be right there. Does a great job. Mike gets a good run off, obviously with tires there, and Eric's on two. The 34 is going to shoot around the outside too high through 1 and 2 right here.
Yeah, he is way, way high right there. Tried to use the high side. Man, he knows he's got to get around the 96, so he's going to stay to the high side again here. Good battle for second. Well, I'll tell you what, the 19's not walking away from Eric Tesh right now, though.
He's not really walking away from anybody here. We got all these trucks here on top of each other, so you know, one little slip up, something happens here, could be anybody's race. We got Aiden Young back here in 4th. Tyler's in 5th, and the 71 of Brian Hartford in 6th.
Yep, absolutely. Oh, Eric dives on the inside. Haven't seen anybody do this all night long. Let's see what happens. Good, constant professional right there, but Ryan Broddick's going to get the run now coming on the inside.
Yeah, that move by 96er on the inside, that's not going to help him on 2 tires. The outside's his best friend right here, so create a little situation where he slides a little bit, gets a good run right here on the 34.
Yeah, he does. Awesome battle going on here, but I think that high side's going to prevail coming off here, and we would think that, hey, you would think that Mike T. Bruno would love this, but he's thinking right now, I'm not far enough ahead of these guys. Well, Eric Tesh is just not giving up.
No, it's pretty unbelievable that he can get that thing to stick and drive like that right now. I just have to think that right now that loose condition from those tires are still paying off here, but the big question is going to be here in about another 5 or 6 laps. How is that thing going to handle?
Yep. Oh, Ryan Broddick running the wall. Wow. And
yeah,
then he ran it in.
Lift.
Well, in 2, he ran it in the wall because, well, and behind him, we got a wreck. But real quick before we go to that course, he ran in that wall. For one, he had no room. Eric, man, just was running his line there. But while that was happening, we saw old Tyler Justice run up into the wall, and caution's out. It ain't over with yet. I'm going to tell you what, John, what we saw on that restart, Mike T. Bruno better hope he can get shot out like a cannon.
Yeah, you'll see restart there between the 7 and 71 and see what happens between those 2 guys.
Well, it looks like here on the replay that they just kind of checked up. 71's on the inside, and oh, just a little tap. A really good job. Neither one of them hit the wall there. Just looks like they reacted to the fact of what Ryan Broddick hit when he hit the wall up there on that one. But I'll tell you, it was good hard racing between the 34 and 96. Eric was just not giving an inch, and well, he's coming in the pits. Oh, I thought he was coming in. I was fixing to say, there's no way in the world I would come into the pits. I mean, you already committed. You might as well stay. But Ryan could not get the run that he normally was getting. And, you know, Eric was up there. Didn't do anything wrong. He just used every bit of the track he possibly could and ran it right up into the wall.
Well, when you're on 4 tires and you know that other guy's on 2, you in your mind you're like, well, it should be easy getting around him. But if there's one guy that knows how to control a car, you know, on a loose condition, it's Eric.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And right now, we're about to close this one out here at Iowa Speedway under the lights for the Monday Night Thunder Series, presented by Motor Sim Racing Magazine. The trucks right now, it's been a good one. I don't want to say start them 3 wide. If Eric and them had their way, they probably would. But it's going to be interesting here. Aiden Young, you know, if I was Aiden sitting there in 3rd spot, there'd be no lift. Well, I don't say no lift, but you got to run that truck, run it hard.
Yeah, well, we're going to see him do that, but now he's got the 34 behind him. Aiden Young's going to be down there on the inside, who's also had a lot of speed here, so we'll see if Aiden's got anything for him, as he's been able to keep up with him. And, you know, Mike didn't really pull away from anybody on that run right there, so we'll see. I mean, we know these guys, you know, they pushed the envelope here at the end of these races. So we'll see how it works out for him. But all it's going to take is somebody to get to Mike's bumper, or, you know, get to the outside of him there and see if somebody can get around him. But nobody's been able to do that all night. Eric getting to his outside right there was the first time all night long Mike's had any pressure.
No, absolutely. Well, got a couple good news here. If Eric finishes in the top 3, he's in TeamSpeak. You could talk to him.
Oh, yeah. He'll really enjoy that.
Well, he's in TeamSpeak, so we can pull him down. He'll be able to hear you.
Yeah.
I just noticed that up there. So was Aiden. So, hey, you know, look. All right, there we go.
Eric loves talking to me.
Well, I think it's the iRacing chat. That's what it is. Yeah, you know, I don't know if it does it to me because I never hear it, because I'm with the way my mic is, I'm going through the OBS part, but it does muffle down when you go through iRacing chat for some reason.
He says it's because I sound like a redneck.
Well, if you sound like one, what do I sound like?
I don't know, man.
That's what I'm saying, man. Oh, Lord. Foreigners. Yeah, I love it. Neverland people.
Yeah, for a guy who spends a ton of time riding a bicycle around, he's pretty good out here, isn't he?
Absolutely. I mean, and dedicated. I mean, you got to look. The guy is dedicated. He's, what, 5 hours ahead of us, and he races 3 series a night. Actually, 4. He might be here Wednesday night. So, wow, just amazing. And, folks, yes, he does ride a bike everywhere he goes.
Yeah, a lot of people do in the Netherlands over there. He sent me a picture one time. It was where bicycle parking, and there were thousands and thousands of bikes in this one parking lot. It was huge. I mean, it was even, you know, covered parking, just like you would see in an area, you know, in downtown somewhere, where you pay to park and they have nothing but bikes in there. It was unbelievable.
Wow. Well, John Marine said with Eric, he says his reading is currently 57 degrees Fahrenheit and 5:30 a.m. So he's cold, early in the morning, tired. No wonder he says he's always got to get some coffee. Oh, that's actually Shula. My bad.
Oh, Eric drinks his coffee.
Okay, well, then there you go. Man, no one of those guys are drinking coffee. Well, here we go. Pace car lights are off. This is probably going to settle it because, folks, caution comes out this time. It's over with. Mike T. Bruno knows that. Here we go. He gets a good jump out there. Eric got a pretty good one this time. Goes to the high side. They're still 3 wide, 2 wide. We're going to stop up front and see if Eric Tess can get a run going in that turn. I don't know if he's got the tires to do it or not.
That's great. Eric is right there, right on the inside there. Aiden's on the inside of that 34. And 71's inside Spence Thompson right here. So we've got 2x2 here, 3 rows deep. Big battle up front.
Yeah, and he got a run. He's still able to stay on the inside. Now, here's what the thing is. Man, he is still there on the inside. Is he going to be able to hold that truck? As Mike T. Bruno drove it high coming out of the turn, they are still door to door going into 3.
Yeah, this is the only part that hurts Eric right here. If he comes out of here and he can slide up in front of the 19 there, then Mike will have to. Oh, Mike puts it in the wall.
You've got to be kidding, folks. The man that's dominated this race all night long. John, can you just believe what happened? Now he's wrecking. Caution's out.
The caution's out.
Holy cow. Can you just believe what happened?
That was crazy, right? Just like you said, when somebody gets up there and puts the pressure on, you know, what's going to happen? And I believe that Eric was in the lead when the caution came out by a fender.
Yes, he was. Let's go back on that, man. Holy cow, folks, because it's over with. Right here, Eric Tesh is going to be the man to pull this off. What a finish. And I'm trying to find a 19 on my thing so we can go back here on the replay. Did nothing wrong on that start. Just ran hard. And Mike Bruno ran that thing up in the wall. Just like Tyler Justice has been doing all race long. Let's go back here on the replay as that man's going to be one happy camper. Wow. I mean, I would have never thought 2 tires would have done it. But he drove that truck in and came out of turn 4, folks. Right there we saw it. Mike Bruno hit the wall. Tyler Justice went on the inside, 71. Man, talk about some net code there. That was terrible. Oh, yeah, Mike T. Bruno, just victim right there in that one. But you have got to be kidding me, because the move of the race right there was that man up front, Eric Tesh, pulling this one off here tonight in a absolute thriller of a finish. Wow.
You got a great job, great call by the 96 Eric right there with those 2 tires. I didn't think would pay off all that much, but the man practices a ton, I know, so he obviously knew something that I didn't, but great call by him.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, I always like picking on Eric Tesh, man, and like picking him every time we turn around. And oh, wow. Aiden Young bringing that thing home in 3rd, so we'll be able to bring him down here into team speak. Let's see if we can get a talk with him right fast. Hang on a second. We'll bring him down here in team speak, because what? Ryan Broderick's the only one we're gonna have to talk to over the airways. We're gonna bring old Aiden Young down here though. Well, I say I'm gonna bring him down, but hang on a second. Aiden, can you move down here to this away from keyboard right fast for me? And you too, Eric.
Okay.
Alright, I had to go up there and have them because I don't have the permissions to move anyone, so I'm gonna have to get that fixed from what you call it. But hang on a second, we're gonna get a word in with Aiden Young here, a man who come in 3rd place. John, take it off.
All right, Aiden Young, is John. I'm still waiting in the booth. You got a copy?
I got you.
Well, buddy, you had a super fast truck all night long, man. Tell us a little bit about it, how it handled for you, and a little bit about the race there at the end between you and the 34 and how things happened up there.
Well, the truck felt really good all night. I was just pretty much biding my time up front and just staying out of trouble. You know.
Well, I mean, dude, you had a great truck there. Did you feel like you had anything for the 34 and the 96 in front of you?
I think I might have had something for him, but my truck was just way too tight, so I don't think I could have got him, but if any mistakes would have happened, it would be there to pounce.
At the end of the run, the last pit stop there, Eric went in and took 2 tires. Did you think about taking 2 yourself, or was 4 the best way for you to maintain your position up front?
I honestly didn't think about taking 2 because sometimes I know 2 tires can make these cars loose, so I didn't want a chance to get myself wrecked over taking 2.
Well, 10-4, man, you had a great run. 3rd place finish. Good points night for you. You got anybody you want to thank out there?
Just want to thank Ryan Daniels, Matthew Skipper, everyone out there that supports, and happy birthday to Joe White.
All right, buddy, we appreciate it, man. Enjoyed seeing you run out there, and did a great job as usual, man. So congratulations on 3rd, and we'll see you in the next one.
Thanks.
All right, well, I'll tell you what, since we got old Eric Tesh up here in the team speak with us, we'll get a talk with Ryan Broderick here on the other chat here in just a second. He's the second place man, but we'll go ahead and go to Victory Lane here and talk to Eric Tesh because, you know, what do we got to say here? Because he pulled off a awesome victory from the guy who was just dominating all night long, the 19 machine there, Mike T. Bruno. We didn't think anybody could even get close to him because he was blistering pace, but here comes Eric out of nowhere. Iceman for the Netherlands here, puts 2 tires on, runs that cat down, and was a thriller there at the finish to pull the victory off here at Iowa Speedway. Eric Tesh, Joe White in the booth, got a copy?
Loud and clear, Joe.
Loud and clear. Well, you definitely welcome back for one, and wow, what a comeback. What a finish. Tell us what was going through your mind when you got on the inside and was able to hold with a man who was just dominating all night long.
Well, it was just, you know, there was that moment, you know, it's going to happen once a race, and that was the moment to stick it there and try to make it stick. And sadly enough, we couldn't battle it out because Mike hits the wall. But eventually, I think we had an amazing battle till the finish if nothing happened.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'll tell you what, he did a marvelous job, and Mike Bruno's out in the chat. He said, he says, devastating. I got to agree with him. He definitely had a dominating truck all night long, and sometimes when you have a dominating truck like that, you kind of, you know, yeah, when somebody gets near you. But, man, y'all raced hard, you raced clean, and it was just awesome when you got door to door. It was just one of those deals where, hey, you were there. Me and John was just like awestruck up here that you took 2 tires and was able to drive that thing to the front. I mean, it was just an amazing driving job, as you coin your phrase that you love saying here tonight. But Dennis, you got anybody out there you want to thank for this victory tonight?
Yeah, I just want to thank my teammates. It's sadly enough that Mike hits, also my teammate hits the wall. Lucky for us, the win is still within our team. But I just want to thank everyone around me.
Well, here's my next thing, because you mentioned that about team. Was that going through your head when you drove that thing on the inside? Because I saw the first time you drove it in there, you kind of looked like when you started to push up, you let out and got right behind him. This time, well, it was hammer down and go. I mean, it's kind of just was, hey, look, man, all or not.
Yeah, you know, you're teammates, but you're also battling together for the championship. So, no, we're racing each other hard with lots of respect.
Absolutely. Well, definitely a lot of respect out there. And it definitely was good. And yeah, we see Mike out there. I know it hurts. That to be, hey, been in those positions. I know Eric, you've been in them a lot. John also. It is what it is. But hey, can't take away the fact, awesome thriller of a finish tonight, because you, Eric Tesh, the Iceman for the Netherlands. And man, he runs with some ice cold veins tonight and definitely brought that thing to the front. Won here at Iowa Speedway under the lights for the Monday Night Thunder Series, presented by Motor Sim Mason Magazine. Congratulations, Eric Tesh.
Thank you, Joe.
Alrighty. Well, I tell you what we're going to do here. Ryan Broderick should still be in the server, I hope.
He's not.
Okay. Well, hang on a second. Let me move up here to see if Brad. Well, anyways, I'll tell you what we'll do. If we can't get a hold of him, we'll definitely get an interview with him. You know, tomorrow or next week. So we'll see if he pops into TeamSpeak here real quick. If he doesn't, then hey, we'll definitely get a talk in with him. But let's get our race in order here, right fast. As Eric Tesh, wow, that's all I got to say. Just wow. Was able to pull that thing off. Ryan Broderick right there in second. Aiden Young pulling in third. Spence Thompson, the champ, in fourth. Tyler Justice fifth. David A. Levine sixth. Jared Beasley pulling it up there in seventh. Terry Mason eighth. Jason Alexander ninth. And Gordon Larson in 10th.
Yeah, Craig Lerman in 11th. Davis Richards 12th. Zach Langren 13th. Brad Wilson 14th. Brian Harford 15th. Michael Redding 16th. Mike T. Bruno, just a heartbreaker right there for him. 17th. Blake Falone in 19th. and David, I'm sorry, 18th. David Heisen 19th, DJ Hargrove in 20th.
All right, 21st, we got Jason Burgess, Robbie Butner 22nd, Ryan Daniels 23rd, Josh Sturgill 24th, John Barron 25th, Andrew Kennelly 26th, Billy Hargrove right there in 27th. So, wow is all I got to say. Wow, wow, wow. Would you have ever thought that it would have came down like that? I mean, you know, Mike T. Bruno just dominated. Flat just dominated this race. Kind of takes me back to the Pocono race I was telling you about with old Brian Johnson Racing Freaks. Dominated Pocono, then in the final closing laps, Tyler came out of nowhere and just stole it from him. And Eric Tesh, boy, he put the 2 tires on and was able to manhandle that truck up to the front. Any final words on that one?
It was a great race, man. We saw a lot of good action out there. 3-4 wide race, and the guys made it work. A lot of pressure there on Mike at the end of the race there, and I hate to see that happen, man. Dominating a race like that, and I expected pretty much for him to get the win there. Nobody able to get around him, but you know, it's racing, man, and like we said, things can happen in a split second here and change the whole outcome. And those things happen. We've seen him close a ton of them out, and we see sometimes you get a little heartbreak there. So hate to see that, but we know that man knows what he's doing. He'll be back up front again, be in victory lane in no time. So great run though. Like to see, you know, Ryan Broderick having a good finish here. Eric getting his win, you know, first race coming back. Spence Thompson with a good finish. David Levine, Jared Beasley, Terry Mason with a good finish. So had a lot of guys come away from here. You know, good points night for them. But overall, I got to say the action, the racing was just unbelievable.
Yes, it was. This race was actually a very, very good one for an Iowa race. Let's just say it like that, because normally Iowa, like we said at the beginning of the race, can breed some wow factors. But it breeded one wow factor because the end there, awesome, all race long. Mike T. Bruno, you know, he was just flying high. Then here come Ryan Broderick, ran him down, found something out. We didn't even think about Eric Tesh. Maybe he was watching those guys up there, and in the meantime was finding something out. And then all of a sudden, boom, it was a heck of a battle at the end there. So again, congratulations, hats off to Eric Tesh, the Iceman for the Neverlands. Welcome back here for the Monday Night Thunder Series presented by Motor Sim Racing Magazine. And we definitely want to give a shout out here to the title sponsored OSR Network, TN Designs, Racing Designs, and Graphics. Check those guys out, because you want to talk about racing, that was a thriller there to the end. Well, folks, I tell you what, if you like that, you like all the things we got the rest of this week, because we've got some short tracks, some road course racing, some cup cars, Xfinity cars. We got a little bit of everything, dirt tracking also. So until then, it's Joe White, John T. Wimmis up here in the booth. Everyone, have a good night.